Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to day 2 of the Garena Call of Duty Mobile Masters. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, and down here with me at the casting desk today, the one and only Coach Jericho, to bring you guys all of the craziest of action. And today, it is Valentine's Day, so it's a day of love, but out here on the battlefield, it's most definitely gonna be a hard-fought war as usual, Jericho.
Yeah, you know, day 1 was really good. Now time for day number 2. Unfortunately, it landed on Valentine's Day, so we might break a lot of hearts here, you know, the viewers. But we have a great set of matches today. I'm excited for a lot of these matches.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited for each and every single one of them. We, as usual, have thrown in our predictions already. Later on, as the day continues, as each and every single one of those matches do pop up on your screen, you will have the option and the chance to vote as well. So do not shy away from telling us and sharing with us exactly who do you think is going to be able to win the series later on, okay? So far, it's something that we have been expecting. The Philippines, man, the Philippines has been dominating all throughout. Only the first seeds of Singapore and Malaysia have won. The other two have lost. 4 of the Filipino teams won last, on the day number 1, Jericho.
Yeah, you know, most of those top seeds pretty much took it over. And as expected, they came in here, you know, set the tone right that they are here to win and they don't want to mess around. They don't want to, you know, play with their food, as you would say, and they just wanted to get the W.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Philippines has not lost to an SGMY team just yet. Maybe today will be the day. I mean, the very first series itself, we have our Titans Blacklist International.Ultimate jumping right back into the fray. And they take on Nervo. And I'm a little nervous thinking of the fact that, you know, Nervo's a team that was just recently put together again. Because this is Adapt's old team, which has been revived. But before we get into the juicy bits, the juicy details of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us walk you through the tournament format. We started off at the qualifier with 256 teams, and we battled it. They battled it out until we got the top 16 teams who'd have made it through to the group stages, right? And 4 out of these 16 teams, of course, the invited ones. Top 2 of each and every single group will be making it through to the playoffs. Throughout the whole of the group stages, it's going to be a best out of 5 double round robin, and that's the first time ever at a Garena event.
That's the first time ever, and it means more chances for all these teams to actually make a comeback. You know, not just get eliminated from the first 2 days, but actually have a lot more chances. And then once we get through that group stage, it's going to be time for the playoffs. 8 teams, double elimination, best of 5. Double best of 5 in the grand finals, and then we get to crown our champion. He's going to take home that very chunky prize pool, which we're going to take a look right now. Prize pool of that champion will get $10,000. For the second place, you get $4,500. For the third place, you get $3,000. For the fourth place, you get $1,500. If you place up to the 5th to 8th, you get $750. 9 to 12, you get $500. If you place 30 16, you still get a small $250.
Overall, $25,000 in this prize pool, and that's just absolutely insane. Garena's most definitely stepping it up in terms of the financial department as to what it's willing to give out to all of these pro players who do manage to step on out here and prove that they are the best of the best. I mean, competitions of all, we've perhaps seen a $10,000 prize pool, but this one, for the first place in itself, they take back 10K USD, right? So that's a huge deal for all of the teams in here. A lot to fight for, Jericho.
Yeah, a lot to fight for indeed. It can change your lives. It can change everything for you. But it has to start in the round robin. And this is just day number 2. Have a lot of more chances to actually qualify for the top 8.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, throughout the whole day, you guys will be able to jump onto this journey with us. As you know, it's Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. I wonder if or not these teams will be showing each other a little bit of love and a little bit of mercy as well through all of these matches, or will they just go all out, ruthless aggression? Let's run through the groups as well. In Group A, we have the almighty Rampage representing Malaysia, and for the Philippines, we have C8 United as well as Tyrant Finesse. So far, Almighty most definitely have proven to be a dominant team. They took the win over Rampage, and the same was done by C8 United over Tyrant Finesse on day one, Jericho.
Yeah, both these teams actually getting that the first win for them. Just setting the tone right for their team, going in the right direction. Unfortunately for Rampage and Finesse, they were the ones who actually had to take the L and, have to climb back to that standings and get that first win, just to settle down and not go down 0-2.
Oh, yeah. And this was not gonna be easy from the start. As for all of these teams, they are taking on quite the titans in Call of Duty Mobile. For Group B, we've got the champions of Malaysia, SEM9, GaijiN representing Singapore, M420 Lowkings, as well as Triple V Esports on representation for the Philippines.
Yeah, and the shocker for this group was VVV actually losing to M420 Lowkings 3-1, and also SEM9 taking it up to GaijiN in a very convincing fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if GaijiN can make the comeback, because today they actually have a match that I think that they might have that upper hand.
Yeah, they don't really have much of a choice, right? They must make a comeback in here each and every single opportunity that they get. They cannot take any risk whatsoever. But that being said, there are many of these series that they can prowl through. It is a double round robin at the end of the day, and that only means they meet each other twice before making it through to the playoffs, right? So if you fail once, you most definitely get a second chance at it. And we do know Triple V has bitten the bullet once, GaijiN as well, when they took on SEM9s. Let's see, next week, will we be able to see a little bit of a different mix-up coming through from all of these teams. Group C, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming up for you guys in just a little bit as well. And that is not an easy group for us to walk through, because you've got titans in there as well. I mean, each and every single group, man, when we look at the top two that comes out of it, it's just not easy to predict exactly who is it going to be. And in Group C, everybody knows Smart Omega, but Smart Omega themselves, they struggled against Huntsman. And when I say struggle, my oh my, I did not expect them to not even surpass that 50-point mark at that Standoff Hardpoint. That was the first match that they took against the Malaysians, but after that, a strong comeback. They beat them 3-1 in that series overall. Agila Esports in here as well. They took on Team Fury last week, and they went in a 3-0. That was a perfect juggernaut win for them. So Fury, they need to step it up today.
Yeah, Fury was the one that really underperformed, because Smart Omega, Agila, Huntsman, they all played well. Omega making that comeback after being absolutely dominated, like you said, in that game number 1. And for Fury, they have to go through something. They really need to slow things down. Take a look at their group, because I know this is definitely one of the group of vets. B and C definitely have the hardest matchups here. But as we take a look at the Group D, this is probably the easiest in my opinion for Blacklist, and they're probably the favorites for this group. We have Blacklist International.Ultimate, C8 Legacy, Nervo, and the Doctor. And it's looking like these three teams, they are eyeing to give that first loss to Blacklist.
I don't know, man. Nervo is taking on Blacklist today. It's a little tough to imagine any team beating Blacklist International.Ultimate in the form that they currently possess right now, right? They've got mechanical capabilities, they've got full map awareness, map understanding, and the teamwork is just phenomenal within this squad. It's gonna take a lot for anyone that dreams of taking even one match away from them, and Nervo is kind of stuck with that responsibility in here today. We will see exactly how they take that up against each other. C8 Legacy, they meet the Doctors in the very second series. So Group D, they will all be in action. You guys get to watch that back-to-back as soon as we start things off here.
Yes, back-to-back indeed. So all these teams are going to be fighting. It's going to be their first game, so we're going to see the stats in the next couple of days, but we're going to see who's going to be dropping those numbers and who are going to be underperforming as well. That first match, like you said, Blacklist International.Ultimate versus Nervo. I mean, it's pretty scary for Nervo, for that first series. But then again, they do have adapt in that lineup. But is it enough for him to carry the team? It has to be a team effort. And for Blacklist International.Ultimate, they just have to click out. They just have to pretty much. I mean, they could just go out one by one, and all of them make an impact.
Yeah, Nervo was a team that was formed 10 days ago.
Yeah, 10 days ago.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. And they take on one of the most dominant teams in the world of Call of Duty Mobile, not just in Garena, in the world, right? Now, when you look at the team, you do have Keiki from Lugiyami. She participated in the Valkyrie series. Keiki is most definitely a super capable player, and with Adapt in the squad as well, we know that there's quite a bit of mechanical plays that this team can, of course, deliver later on. But in terms of how they are going to be traveling through all of these matches within the series itself against Blacklist International, a team that is so sound all throughout any aspect whatsoever, that's most definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. If you are Singaporean, you better have your fingers crossed, man, because the Filipinos are tough to beat, and you are taking on the toughest one of them all.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to take on the toughest one, you better have something up your sleeve, or try your best to actually get that W. But it's really looking hard. If you're matched up with the Eastern champions, chances are very, very slim. But if they do want something to happen, this is what they need to do. Now let's take a look at our standings. For after that day number 1, we do see ALMGHTY for Group A, ALMGHTY and C8 United taking 1-0. For Group B, we do have 7-9 and M420 Lowkings taking that 1-0 as well. And for Group C, we also had Smart Omega and Aguila taking that 1-0.
And of course, this is exactly how day 1 ended. Will we still be seeing a similar standing at the end of the day? I'm most definitely curious. As C8 United sets themselves up for success in here today, they will be facing Rampage. The Malaysians, they struggled on day number 1 against ALMGHTY, but who doesn't struggle against ALMGHTY, right? So C8 United is supposedly gonna be a easier task for the team Rampage to go in here and pick up for themselves. But then again, we don't know. I mean, through the competitions, even at Ways of War Philippines, we talked about this. The skill gap between the country Philippines alone and the number of quality teams that it chugs out, it's just phenomenal. And SGMY, they're trying to keep up. We do have some, solid brands on our end that can definitely take the fight up against the Philippines. But whether or not Rampage will be able to join such ranks, we will be able to witness today. This will be the schedule of the day. Blacklist International.Ultimate takes on Nervo in game number 1, as we've discussed already. C8 Legacy meets the Doctors in series number 2. GaijiN then takes on M420 Lowkings. That's most definitely a must-watch. M420 Lowkings, they upset Triple V Esports 3-1, man. Can they do the same to the Singaporeans this time around? This team, this brand, very quick and upcoming. Hopefully, we get to see a little bit more of that tenacity out of GaijiN later on. We know they most definitely are going to need it. And for the last match that's going to be broadcasted on today, it's going to be Rampage going up against C8 United, Jericho.
Yeah, 4 matches live stream. We also have our off-stream matches, guys. We have 7-9 versus VVV Esports. Will 7-9 hand VVV another L and make them 0-2, or will VVV finally get that first one they need? And for our last off-stream match, it's going to be ALMGHTY versus Tyrant Finesse. It's going to be very intense here, but I'm really looking out for that third series, AJ. GaijiN and M420. I feel like both of these teams up and coming as well. And GaijiN, they have to, they've proven themselves in other tournaments, but so far in that day number 1, they haven't really been clicking. Cisco's been struggling in that first series, but I feel like, after that first game jitters, that nervousness, day number 2 is a new day. I think this is where he can start to build that W for the team.
Yeah, as far as Cisco is concerned, on day number 1, he didn't really unlock his SVD yet. So, and I believe he's already gone into the game. He's grind for his SVD all the way up to max already. Today, we will be able to see him hit back, and hopefully it's gonna be an absolute solid play from the guy. If not, well, he better put that Jollibee down, because when you represent Jollibee, you gotta bring in the fire, bro.
Yeah, you gotta bring out the fire. Now let's take a look at our caster predictions, and me and AJ, we are tied actually 7 for 7. And now, it's just we have some similar choices besides match 3, 4, and match 3, 4, and the first off stream.
Yeah.
I think it's just I mean, nothing really much. I think we just wanted to see more of these teams. And I still believe in GaijiN, of course, but you wanted to go for the M420. Why so, AJ?
M420 because it was all with the upset that they pulled over Triple V, right? Dude, Triple V, no small squad. You know that for a fact, Jericho. And I'm not talking about just mechanical capabilities. I'm talking about those rotations. I'm talking about each and every single strategy that Triple V brings in to the Call of Duty mobile competitions. Absolutely solid. Now, to be upset, not by a 3-2, but to a 3-1, dude, M420 Lowkings, you need to watch out for them. I want to watch out for them. So I'm placing my bet on them early. Let's see if or not we can hype that up to the max. But GaijiN themselves, they have been proving to be quite the competition. But you mentioned something, right? With how Cisco was struggling just a little bit. I expect that Jitters to carry on even though he has the SVD on him. And on top of that, today's Valentine's Day. I saw Cisco out on a date earlier on. He was streaming, so I might be a little distracted, man.
I believe it was their second Valentine's, so congratulations, Cisco and Alina. I know them very well, so hopefully your boyfriend actually, hypes himself up, get that ace and, get that snipe on point. But, enough of the Valentine's, guys. We got Call of Duty action here, first series. Blacklist International.Ultimate versus Nervo. I mean, we both picked Blacklist for a reason. They are the reigning Eastern champions. And if you are Nervo, I mean, AJ, if you're Nervo, what kind of mindset are you going into this one?
If you're Nervo, you got to be nervous. That's all I can say, right? But they've got quality in the team. They've got Claudra. They have got representation. Yeah, from Adapt himself, right? And the amount of quality as well as experience Adapt brings onto the team, that obviously goes to say something, right? That obviously puts them in a certain situation. But you also have Keiki from Lugiyami. Now, Keiki has been one of the most stellar players out of the Valkyrie series, and I'm quite excited to see exactly what she can pull off within the squad. But of course, the lineup of Blacklist International.Ultimate, the one and only Jamin, AG, Yobabs, Yato, Tin, as well as Kurd. As I say these names, I fear for Nervo.
Yeah, I mean, definitely fear. Any of these players can make a play and make that huge difference. I'm looking out for Tin. Tin, arguably the best player in that team. Skurd, one of the best IGLs. I mean, he just makes plays after plays, and all these players, if you just switch them up, they're pretty much unstoppable. They can mow you down, and that's why they are the reigning Eastern champions. And I believe they want to prove something here in this day number in their first series up against Nervo. We do see them here just preparing, and I mean, there's nothing else you can say about Blacklist International.Ultimate. They're just that damn good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And Yato and Yobabs back in the squad. These guys, if anything, are super solid with all of their plays that they bring out there onto the battlefield. In terms of age, they are young. They still have so much more growing to do. But if they're already this good right now, I just wonder how much better they will be able to get and how much better they will be able to grow into professional players under the Blacklist brand itself, right? Blacklist International.Ultimate, at the end of the day, they not only have something to continuously prove, but they also have the onus of continuously exciting the COD community to show exactly what champions can do and how far they can continue pushing themselves, Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in a lot of teams, that when they won that big world championship, they just keep on winning and winning and winning. But now let's take a look at Nervo. We have Love, Range, Envy, Cloudra, Back Choi, Keiki, Gmo, and Adapt actually leaving ALMGHTY to form this new team, AJ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Now, not so sure on the information as to Dab's departure from the side of ALMGHTY, but I like the fact that at his departure, it was not a player that, just went down and disappeared from the scene, but went back to revive his old team, right? To revive exactly what he used to be before he went into ALMGHTY. Nervo is that combination, and he brings on quite the list on him, man. I mean, Bak Choi is there, Claudra. Now, we don't see the player cam of Keiki, so I'm thinking she's going to be missing match number 1. We're not too so sure just yet. We will have to wait until we jump into battle number 1.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully she gets to hop on, and actually play for the team. But so far, these boys, they have a huge team up against, and I'm pretty sure they're just trying to focus in at the moment. But so far, I mean, if you are Nervo, you got to work on you have a lot of film at your disposal, especially the Eastern Championships. You can expose Blacklist International here, you know, and check out their plays and see what they can do. But at the same time, the mechanical gameplay of Black International can just back them up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right. And that has been something that has been paying dividends to the players for a long time now. And that's exactly what you were mentioning when we were looking at the lineup. Any one of those players can clutch up the gameplay, you know, in Search and Destroy, for example. Any one of those players will be able to stand up for their team when the rest of them fall. That's exactly how dangerous and scary the mechanical capabilities of the players of Blacklist International.Ultimate is. But in terms of Nervo, a team that was just recently set up, once again, we have to stress they were put together 10 days ago.
10 days. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you know, we've seen a lot of teams been together for at least 1 to 2 years and they get eliminated straight up the 128th round or something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just really skill. But here we go, the bans and picks, and Nervo, they win the coin toss, AJ. They're going to be the first one to ban that first map. Let's see what they ban. It should be Takeoff because Blacklist International.Ultimate, they're actually really good in Takeoff.
Absolutely, man. And there you go. So Takeoff taken off of the list. And we know this, right, from the Eastern Finals as well. It has been a map that a lot of teams have struggled with. But Blacklist International.Ultimate jumped into Takeoff and so gracefully dominated so many teams there. It is just so exciting to watch them in performance. But we will not have that opportunity in here today. Blacklist International.Ultimate, they will be able to hit back. But what map will they remove from Nervo? A team that they do not know 100%. Hackney Yard is that one map that they're not so sure of, I guess. So they take that off of the list. And we will not be having the two newest map that has been thrown into the competitive rotation. But in terms of hardpoint match number 1, Nervo walks us right into firing range. And I expect hardpoint for Blacklist to be at Summit because they love keeping things one-sided.
That is true. And actually, Nervo, they want to go up to firing range. Just a small map, a lot of control, trailer, steel house, and top barracks, and also tower. Those are going to be the main points of this map. And let's see what Blacklist brings us into map 4. And to your point, they love Summit Hardpoint. And that, I think that should be that map that they will choose. And let's take a look at this one. But is it even going to reach to map number 4? You know, I mean, no disrespect to Nervo, but you know, if you are a betting man, you should just, you know, 3-0 Black International.Ultimate. That should be the move.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. But you know, it's not going to be as easy as that. And yeah, we're not going to count Nervo out at all because of what they have within the team. That's just pure quality. They have promise. But instead of Summit, they get dragged on into Raid. So this is going to be an exciting one. Hardpoint number 1 itself, you know, is going to be quite the challenge for them to go and control at Square Center. Is going to be all open. And the mechanical capabilities that we've already pointed out in such an open fist hardpoint, that's going to be tough. Into its kitchen, that rotation, that can be your Money Hill or Garage, but we also saw exactly how that panned out at the Ways of War Philippines. Anything can happen as long as you have those early rotations that ski on such a huge map. And Search and Destroy, this one is quite the surprise. Blacklist International.Ultimate drags us into Summit. It's been a while since we've witnessed this one.
It's been a while indeed, and I think it's just a curveball. You know, I don't know if they made a mistake of picking the maps here, but I guess Black International.Ultimate, they have something up their sleeve in Summit because I do believe that if it could have been Raid S&D and Summit Harp, it could have been better for them. But maybe they want to use these maps to, you know, a blind, it's like a smoke screen, I guess you would say, just to hide out those plays. But Nervo now, they're going to have to pick map number 5. If it does go to map number 5, Nervo, I think they're going to bring it to a standoff. Yes, it's going to be a standoff, search and destroy. Pretty equal map. And for game number 3, Crossfire Domination, not a map that you want to play against Blacklist International.Ultimate.
Oh yeah, not one at all, man. And Special Forces is exactly where Blacklist International.Ultimate wants to start off from. So they are going to be having that immediate control of the Butchers. And for that mid control, they most definitely... I don't know exactly what play they are going to be going for in here. Whether they're going to be rushing through mid and cutting off that backstab in towards that B flag. Or will they just jump on in towards that center building and play all of those pressure, right? But either way, the mechanical capabilities will be able to bring them quite far. Purify and Annihilator taken out of the mix here. So 10 Sparrows out there on the battlefield we can expect, Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, we know how these players can. We know how the Sparrow is so super overpowered. It can take down a whole team here. But so far, I guess the Sparrow is going to be really helpful for that first map for firing range. Even if you are stacked inside those hills, if you pull out that operator skill, you can pretty much break a hill on your own. You can also cut off rotations, especially in that P4. When you have control and making them spawn at the lower spawn, you just let them come through, and then your Sparrow pull them out, hit them 2 shots. Make them spawn there again. So it's going to depend on when they're going to invest that and how many are they going to invest in this certain times.
Yeah, crossfire domination. Once again, that's exactly where the Sparrow will be the MVP. You want to go in there for the protection of each and every single one of those flags. You don't even need to be on it. You back away, for example. You sit down inside of the central building. You get to take care of your B flag. And at the same time, you get to control mint as well. There's so much of creativity you can bring out with those Sparrow plays, right? But as we talk about all of that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's grind time right now. Let's see exactly. Oh, I love this. I love
the new one.
Cam.
I was going to point it out. Yeah, the player cam coming through, guys, and now we do see a new addition, and props to the Garena production. Thank you so much. But now here we go, game number 1, Nervo versus Blacklist International.Ultimate. Hard point in firing range. We start things off with Yo Bobs getting those first early kills, and I like this from Blacklist International. They're just getting some kills first before they hopped on it. Finally hopped on the hill, but as soon as they hopped on it, Nervo pushes it together to get some kills as well. But so far, 5-0.
Yeah, and they need to be able to take top 10 first. Auto repairs not touched just yet. Blacklist International just running circles around the players of Nervo. And now they come through middle lane. They get shut down either way. It's just fight after fight after fight after fight that Blacklist International just seems to be winning. And a good smoke out, but GaijiN still manages to spot the player through the smoke, not giving them an inch at all at that hard point. And an early rotation in towards that clearing area. All of those players, they now want to set up the backstab because the access from warehouse into branch road is just an absolute no-go with that monster sitting down inside of that scout tower.
And even if they have the hill 30-0 early, no points for the side of Nervo, but they're going to be on that rotation. Already you have that triple man setup. They have one player in Steel House. They get taken out immediately. Finally get some points in, but Tin is there for the break. He's going to get taken out. And so far, Nervo finally answering back. But as soon as we say that, Skirt makes that play. And now the spawn trap is on. Look at the setup from Black International.Ultimate. They have all angles covered. And this might just be a 60-point hill for them. But Nervo, they have a one good push here. If they have some utils here, they can actually try to break it. But Yato is there for the hits. But here comes Bakcho. He's going to get double challenge. So unfortunately, they're going to be struggling to break this hill.
Yeah, Tin now with an opportunity to just run all over the players of Nervo. Nobody is near enough to challenge them for this hard point. And once again, an early rotation coming through from the one and only Claudra. But unfortunately for him, it's just way too early. 15 more seconds. Decides to go in there for the challenge. Nobody to back him up. And it just looks like Nervo is most definitely nervous in this first matchup against Blacklist International.Ultimate. And they seem to be losing out. And all of their gunfights here is just a little disheartening to see. 81-5 now. Nervo really needs to step it out at the White Warehouse. But the XS1 Goliath going to be brought in as well as an extra layer of defense inside of that hard point.
Yeah, they want to finish it fast, and this XS1 will be that extra life. Like you said, the Pred comes in. It's going to take down 2. That's 3 down. Sparrow comes out as well. They invested so much here. They want to get all this time here. Adapt trying his best to destroy it, but GaijiN still alive with that Goliath. 100-6 AJ. Things are not looking good for Nervo. They got to do something here, but they are spawning way out, and they're spawning really far from each other, so no place whatsoever. They have to go in now. You know, you have to press that panic mode right now, Adrian.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Shout out to production. I absolutely love the camera work coming through this time round. 118-6. Nervo really is getting wrecked right now. GaijiN's XS1 Goliath still alive, but as I say that, it gets shut down by Adapt finally. Gravity spikes does not hit. Tin gets shut down. That's just a little bit of a miscalculation. And the Thumper comes out. Adapt still alive. Nobody's able to step through that door just yet. And Blacklist International will have to abandon this. They move on through towards the barracks hut. But what do we know? The players of Nervo sitting down there already trying to make a strong comeback. One more player left in the mix here, and it's going to be the one and only Adapt. He does have the death machine on him. Jamon in here with the Sparrow as well on the back alley, but will get shut down at passageway. Adapt brings out the Pred missile. Is that enough? It's enough for them to open up the hard point, but can they hold on to it? 40 seconds to go now, Jericho.
Yeah, 40 seconds. And I don't like that play from Backjoy, hitting that a flank. It actually flipped the spawns for them. And I think that play alone gave Blacklist International the win there. You know, Backjoy overextended too much there. And now here comes the Sparrow that we talked about. Skirkin just spammed this one and take down 2 in a row, actually. More teammates there for Blacklist to take him out. 15 more points. And I think Nervo, that just costed them the game.
Oh yeah, and it's just unfortunate. And in a situation like that where you're just panicking all over the place, you really want to make a strong comeback in this game, mistakes are bound to happen. And 150 to 40, that's exactly how we wrap up game number 1. It's not something that we were not expecting. Blacklist International.Ultimate most definitely wants to beat in this competition. What a dominating showing at this hard point at firing range.
Yeah, dominating showing indeed, and that's what we expect from the champs. You know, they really want to show up. They're not going to be trying to play with their enemies. They're just down here for business. And 150-40, very, very great win by them. And, you know, Nervo, I saw a little bit of life towards the end, towards that P3, you know, Adapt going on that streak, actually had a Predator missile, but after that Pred came through, I just saw Backjoy, had that equalizer. All he had to do was stay in range of that spawn, but he overextended, and he gave Black International the spawns. They all spawned at Bathroom, and that pretty much sealed the deal. The break came through. Sparrows were all out, and also the Preds, and that was a GG.
Absolutely, man. And you know, one final play in there, he should have just stuck onto his horses, not really moved out of that position, and overextending this time around just did not give them the dividends. But if he had been able to pull that play off, he would have been able to buy a little bit more time for the rest of his players. I absolutely understand the decision making that came through there, but unfortunately for Backjoy, just not the best of decisions to be making. Blacklist International.Ultimate, on the other hand, with Skirt picking up the MVP for himself. 20 to 9 KD he picks up for himself. Yato with the 21-12. Just stellar on performance for each and every single one of these players. I did not expect him to really not show up for the matches in terms of the kills, but he was playing those objectives to the T, Jericho.
I feel like he's just, you know, I don't think he can kill anyone if you have Skirt and Yato and GaijiN just taking all of the kills. I think he's just doing his job, but he's going to make an impact later, I really believe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's just a small start. I guess it's just that first game, or, you know, a little bit tired yet, don't have that energy yet, but 10 doing his job for the OBJ, a minute 31, pretty well. And for the side of Nervo, you can't really go. You can't drop 8 and 6. You really have to. You really need to get those trades, get those initial gunfights at the start, and you know they really have to try to do something here. And they lost in their map pick, AJ. They lost in their map pick, firing range 40 to 150, and now it's going to be Summit where Black International they picked this one, and you know they are a pretty good S&D team. They have a bunch of plays, but you know losing Kenshi might be a huge thing for them because they don't have that dedicated sniper anymore. Yeah. I mean, I know GaijiN is that secondary sniper, but who's going to be that main sniper for them?
Yeah, I think Blacklist International will not have much of an issue with this at all. When you drop on into Summit, it's pretty much for all out on defense. The attacking side most definitely will be able to play a little bit of that momentum. But you talked about that long-range engagement. With all of these other players, I expect Yato as well as Tin to really step it up to close that distance. You have your concussions to play as well. You've got your flashes in there to go in there for the quick setup. And once you're in, I feel like that's all Blacklist International.Ultimate will need, right? Because when it comes down to those gunfights, once again, Nervo hasn't been able to show that they're able to, you know, kind of keep up with Blacklist International.Ultimate. And that's exactly what I fear for them in this next matchup, Jericho.
Yeah, you know, the pace was just really too fast for them. For this S&D, we might just see that kind of pace as well. But, you know, Blacklist, they love playing S&D really slow and unpredictable. They make you over-rotate. They make you second-guess what you're doing. And if you're a Nervo, you know, you a lot of these things, it has to depend on Adapt. You know, he knows this team. He has been in that experience. You got to tell your teammates what to do. Be that IGL that you need. You know, I know you're focusing on your gunfights and stuff, but you have to look out for your teammates as well. You got to work as a team.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, you just cannot run away from working together as one unit. The moment the teamwork breaks down at Summit Search and Destroy, it's just going to be a GG. Then that continues to break down a little bit more of your confidence. And there's just no way you're going to be able to make a comeback in here. I absolutely agree with you. The in-game leader has to get his job done really well. Yobabs with a good setup of that trophy system.
Oh my
will
God.
find a snipe out of nowhere, but immediately punished by Yato. Good plays coming through, and the trades are solid for Blacklist International. Yato finds another one as well, and they just take such an aggressive approach on this defense this time around. One final player, Gmo, with the Type 25, manages to find one, but needs to pick the bomb up now as well. But Skurd will be able to thump him out, and it's Blacklist International.Ultimate with the first round. That was just way too quick.
Yeah, way too quick. And actually, Yato tried to go for a 360 for that sniper. A little bit too disrespectful there, but, we'll take it. If you can hit it, you can hit it. But first round goes for them very fast. Or the side of Blacklist International.Ultimate, just rushing through that second floor, letting GaijiN hit that snipe on that snow side. And now Nervo, they're going to be slowing things down. But as soon as you say that, Blacklist, they forced him out to actually challenge him. AG in the middle, he's going to get taken out. Cloudra also going to get taken out. Bomb is down 3 versus 2. Skurd is also going to take out one more player. Last player alive is going to be Adapt with the sniper. He's going to get tagged up, and this is going to be a round for Black unless Adapt makes a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, the bomb is just safe in their hands. Adapt has got the sniper, but Yato with CBR cuts the distance, sprays him down. Blacklist International.Ultimate with the second round already. I don't know if this is a very fair matchup to kind of, determine exactly how good Nervo is, because most definitely they have got a lot of work to do in terms of the teamwork, right? It just seems like the communication and all can get a little bit stronger, but they're taking on one of the best in the world of Call of Duty Mobile. And Love Rage is changing things around, but unfortunately, Yobabs bags him and Bak Joy. Skurd takes down Gmo. Glora will be able to fire one back, but that's not enough of a trade. Adapt checks his corners, but just a little bit too quick. Skurd on that slide still gets taken out. All alone now. Adapt, can he turn around? No, he does not.
Yeah, he does not. And that's going to be 3-0. Fast rounds from Blacklist International.Ultimate and Nervo. No adjustments, in my opinion. Maybe they could have at least went to snow side. They've been getting rushed furiously in the second floor. Might as well try to go for that A rush. But same strategy from Black International.Ultimate, just stacking up everything. Yobab's only that last player. See, it's only one player if they want to go for A. But this time, I like it from Nervo. They took it upon themselves to rush together as a team as well, and no trades whatsoever yet. And now Blacklist, they have to fall back.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that, this time Nervo takes the fight up to them. Oh, with the boxing gloves out. Adapt! Yato shuts him down. CBR. Yato gets yet another one as well. My goodness me. And this is something that we were talking about just before the matchup started, right? The fact that Blacklist International.Ultimate, they will wait to go in there. Sorry, they'll just rush on in there, meet the players of Nervo. Mechanical gameplay takes over, and then the gunfights are done and dusted with before you even know it started. But GaijiN's going to be pissed off, though. Guy hasn't been able to pick up even a single kill because the rest of his team members are doing everything out here.
Yeah, the rest of this team members just doing a lot. If you have your teammates popping off and like that, if you're hitting those shots, nasty shots, make it 3 in a row. Yo, Bobs is on fire. Can he get the 4 more? He's gonna get tagged up. Please don't, please. Okay, they take him out. I thought he was gonna get flicked on. Cloudra shuts him down for the highlights, but the 4 plates of Black International.Ultimate, they are hunting him down in Cloudra. If he could jump off the map, I would, but you cannot. AG, he takes him out. Match point for Blacklist International.Ultimate.
I am sorry, man. 5 back-to-back rounds like that, I'm demoralized already. So it's going to be a lot out of Nervo here in this next round. They are on the defense now. They don't have the bomb. They want to go in there. They want to play this slow or fast, because the last time Blacklist International was to the fast-paced game against them, and they shut out each and every single one of those players of Nervo. Blacklist now. What's this setup gonna be? It's a quick trophy on in. They want to go in there for the early plant, looks like it. AG from the back, Gmo with a lot of pressure, not going to be able to get one down on the ground just yet. Skurd shuts down range, and that's the 3 more players left on the side of Nervo. This must be one of the fastest search and destroys we've witnessed in a long time, Jericho.
It's just it's that damn fast. The way that these guys are playing Summit, it doesn't even look like there's a defensive round. It's like a rush and destroy. It's not even search and destroy anymore. Yato takes down one. Last player alive. Yobab trying to hit it with a sniper. Brings out the MW11 and finally ends it 6-0. We're on to game 3.
I mean, That's the answer right there, right? That's exactly why I missed Yobabs so much. And now that he's right back in here, it's just going to be a GG all the way through, man. He's just such a well-rounded player all throughout these games in Call of Duty Mobile. And now with all of the confidence, with the branding behind him as well, Yobabs seems to be absolutely untouchable, unstoppable. One of the fastest search and destroy summit we have witnessed in a long time.
I mean, I wish we could get that timer. How long the game was actually? If production can get us that time, that'd be really nice. But take a look at the stats. Yato with 12, Yobabs with 8, Skirt with 6, AG with 4, and GaijiN actually did not get a kill.
Yeah.
In that whole game, GaijiN, I am disappointed.
Yeah, I think it's high time we start implying, imposing penalties for players who leave the match right after it's done. Let us see the scores. I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable as to why they would want to jump out of the lobby immediately, right? But it is what it is. Yato hitting the 12 kills overall. Yobabs in there with the 8. And Yobabs, his snipes just drowned out Yato's number of kills that he managed to get out there, right? The deadly duos right back in here. And if you thought Blacklist International.Ultimate were untouchable as the Eastern Finals champion, wait till you see exactly what Yato and Yobabs can do on the squad.
I mean, I just don't know. If you have those 4 players stepping up, what if GaijiN even steps up as well? It's just a massacre, 6-0 already, and now Nervo, and now it's going to be domination and crossfire. And at this point, you're completely demoralized if you are Nervo. But then again, anything can happen, as we saw yesterday in Waves of 4, AJ.
Oh, yeah.
It started off in that domination for that reverse sweep.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to add another then again. You're going up against Eastern champions.
Yeah. The Eastern champions with the Wonder Kids right back up on the block, and they are just ready to teach you a good lesson that age most definitely is not an issue at all. They will be able to step it up, and one of the brightest players out here in the world of Call of Duty Mobile. Now, let's see if or not they will be able to wrap up domination in record time as well, because at the end of the day, domination is just that match where you will have to play it all throughout. Yeah, most of the time, it's quite tough to get a triple cap on all of the flags, especially when you're talking about crossfire. The crossover from one end of the map over to the other, you have to traverse through the Butch's side. You have to traverse through the corner building. It's not really going to be that easy of a task, even against Nervo. But in order to wrap up this match in record time, that's exactly what Blacklist International needs to do. So let's see if that's exactly what they will put their minds to sort out in this particular matchup. 150 to 40, 6-0. They are running through this series.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm pretty shocked. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty 15 years of my life, and I have never ever seen S&D that fast.
I've seen SNDs that fast. I jump into ranked matches and
you're the MVP.
First time legendary, okay? First time legendary player in MP in the past 2 years. And I've seen fast matches like that, right? It is only when you are absolutely outclassed by your opponents when it comes to the mechanical plays. And it's something that we kind of figured out will happen even before the start of the series. It was the mechanical plays that was most definitely going to come into the advantage of Blacklist International.Ultimate here, and to a certain degree the strategies as well. The strategies we couldn't really see in the search and destroy because of how blitz fast it was and how small and narrow that map was. You only have those 3 access points. As soon as the players of Nervo got spotted, they got shut down. But this is respawn mode. Let's see if Blacklist International.Ultimate can get that same speed run completed, or will Nervo not only be able to fight back but get this win and stay alive in the series.
Yeah, but here we go, domination. If you're a Nervo, you started off really slow there at the start. You lost your initial gunfights, and now we do see that those cracks spotting up, AJ. We do see individual gameplays again from them not really working. And Blacklist, they're just moving as a unit here, working towards, they're letting Yato do his thing here. And just before we say that, they're going to overextend here. They're going to lose that A flag, but it's okay. They want to get that C flag. They want that spawn that they need, and they trust in their teammates. But I like this from Nervo. Once they've been losing their gunfights, they are now working as a team, adapt, and another player inside that middle building waiting for their teammates, but they need to get control of that butchers because that power position is going to be very, very important. Yato fully streaked out as well. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, Yato fully streaked out, and it's barely past the 2-minute mark, right? This is just absolutely insane coming through. Yato finally brings out the bread, and it will just give them a little bit momentum to hold on to the B flag a little bit more confidently. They don't want to overextend now anymore. The flip of spawns exactly what they're aiming for, and from here on end, Blacklist International.Ultimate just needs to hold on to this spot. And I believe they will start those overextensions in that second half once they know they've definitely gotten this in the bag, and they can play a little bit of disrespect without having to worry too much about the repercussions.
Yeah, I know, not worry about it indeed. 46-22, but Nervo actually getting that double cap. But as soon as they got that cap, you see that response from Blacklist International. They just picked it up right back. So it didn't matter anymore. 48-27, and Nervo, they are getting trapped over at A side. And things are not looking good for them. 52-28. Yato still has that sentry gun ready for that second half already. They're about to reach that 60-point mark. And Nervo, they need to find something. They need to find something, a spark plug or something that can actually give them that momentum.
Oh my goodness me. Poor Bok Choy. The guy was just standing all alone there, rushed by 4 players of Blacklist International.Ultimate just to hold on to that B flag. And this is exactly what's so dominant about the squad, right? The strategy that comes out, the cohesiveness in the execution of that strategy through all of those players, and the fluid movements. 4 players down at that B flag. The moment they've captured it, all 4 of those players back away. 1 guy stays for the defense. The others are roaming around to shut down the approaches to the B flag. It's just so beautiful to watch them in action, and by the time Nervo's right back in there, we at the halfway point. Blacklist International.Ultimate most definitely on a speed run, but it's not as easy to bag this out at Crossfire Domination.
I mean, they're just it's just hard to see, hard to see as a coach, as also as a player. It's really difficult, but 75-40, very doable here. Now we do see Adapt using that operator skill. Unfortunately, gets taken out immediately, and that's what I'm talking about. Using the operator skills at the perfect time, and for Adapt, he didn't even get a single shot out of that. And we just do see Black International dominating. Now they bring out the Sparrow, and this is where you want to use it. Once you have that B flag, you have enough time to actually put more pressure and delay the enemies. But Cloudra shuts them down. Can he make a play? No help from his teammates. And that's just individual plays there. You need to work as your team there. Once you get in that middle room, you gotta wait for your teammates.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Bok Choy. Smart play. Yobab touched them down, and now 91-50. Nobody's able to touch the flag just yet. Blacklist International.Ultimate. Initially, they flipped the spawns, and now they just have to hold on to the better side. The sentry gun on placement as well. That's the 6th man out there if they even needed one in the first place to make sure this victory over Nervo is secured in the fastest way possible. 101-55 is just a matter of time before we wrap things up now. But finally, the play for that B flag, the attempt coming through from Claudra, but once again, the mechanical capabilities of Blacklist International.Ultimate bagging them out way too quickly. How did he not die?
Call of Duty things. It's just that, I mean, sometimes it just happens to the best of us. And unfortunately, it did happen to him, 113-61. And this should wrap it up. I mean, I like what they're trying to do, Nervo, trying to find something or just to slay out their spawn. They need to slay them out. Don't let the players of Black International run them back. But Yato is just winning gunfight after gunfight after gunfight, working on those streaks. About to hit the punch, misses 3, misses 4, and actually finally hits that. And 125-66. This is pretty much a GG, AJ.
Yeah.
I mean, we expected this one, but Nervo, we did see them show up a fight. And a little bit in hardpoint, a little bit now in domination, but they have to work on a lot of stuff.
Yato's pretty much spawn trapping all of these players, and now finally making his way for that A flag, and he's just playing pure distraction all on him. My goodness me, Yato. Just use your score streaks already, boy.
My
he
God.
doesn't even need to bring any of them out, because this is just such a dominating run. And Yato's just trying to get melee over all of these players, while be able to find yet another punch behind the back of the head. And this is just a total annihilation that we expected from the the get-go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. 147-77. Nervo has nothing on Blacklist International.Ultimate. And you know it's a dominant win when a guy who's fully streaked out rather use his melee than any of his score streaks.
I mean, that's going to be a 3-0. Blacklist International.Ultimate takes it home in a convincing fashion, as we would all expect them to be. And unfortunately, Nervo, they were the ones on the receiving end. That was tough to see if you're a Nervo fan. And I mean, if you are Nervo, you got to work on a lot of things here. I mean, yes, you're up against Eastern champions, but I feel like with them actually losing this game could also be a blessing in disguise. Learning what Blacklist International did, they can apply that and actually try to use that against the other teams that they're going to face in the tournament.
I disagree a little bit, Jericho, because what Blacklist International.Ultimate did, not a lot of teams can pull off, right? you need supreme mechanical capability to be able to just down and out your opponents just like that. So dominant. There's none of those gunfights Blacklist International.Ultimate were losing. And throughout that matchup, there was a few of those moments where I just wanted to say, okay, you know what? In this position, here's what Nervo should be doing. In this position, here's what Nervo should be, approaching towards. I couldn't, because as I wanted to, bring those words out of my mouth, you had this annoying little kid, Yato, running around the battlefield, absolutely clapping all of those rotation points. There's no way those guys could have gone into butchers and played distraction at that C flag. There's no way they could have done that and tried to flip the spawns because of that one-man killing machine in the name of Yato. And after a while of spending his time at office building, bus station, just clearing out the place, he kind of realized, oh, wait a minute, I've been spawn trapping them for the longest of time in the second half. Why not I have a little bit of fun? Because he realized that he had been alive for so long, nobody was killing him. Brings out his boxing gloves, goes Manny Pacquiao on everyone, and punches them all over. This, unfortunately, was a mismatch. And although we love, and although we want to see Nervo step it up and go out there with full-on plays, it was a mismatch in terms of powers from the get-go, and Blacklist International.Ultimate just proving that. Not saying Nervo does not have a chance in this competition at all, but against this Supreme squad, it has just been proven through those mechanical capabilities. It is not just a tough fight, but an impossible one.
Yeah, it was an impossible one. And actually, you know what? You did... I agree with you now. They can't copy what Blacklist can do, but they can just take some notes. Try to that's the right wording there. Not copy.
Salt in the wounds, bro.
Yeah. I'm just I mean, that's the only thing I can really get from seeing this one. It's really hard to analyze if you're really struggling from start to finish, especially in that S&D. Every time it's a 6-0, there's a lot of things you could do right, but at the same time, everything I'm seeing is everything wrong, and it's just Blacklist International running away with this one. Like for that game number 1, 150-40, that huge mistake by Cloudra by Bokcho in the end. If he didn't overextend that, it could have been a closer game. In Summit, it was just all Blacklist, and the Crossfire, a little bit short. I saw a glimmer of hope there, but once Yato pulled out the gloves, I just had to throw in the towel already for Nervo.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold it against Bokchoy if you were a fan of Nervo, because he was not the sole reason as to why they could not cut it at that firing range, right? It was just that one moment of weakness through Bokchoy, one decision that he did not make perfectly, that we saw a highlight reel of him dying off and that spawns just being given away. But unfortunately, overall, it was just a dominating performance by the side of Blacklist International.Ultimate, and nothing to do with how much Nervo was not prepared for this matchup. We have to emphasize once again, Nervo was a team that was put together 10 days ago, and although it was impressive enough for them to beat so many of those other teams, 256 at the qualifying initial rounds in towards the group stages, it's nowhere close near to be enough to meet the Eastern champions, one of the best in the world of Call of Duty Mobile, and show them a good fight. Unfortunately, Nervo was just not ready for that sort of a battle just yet. And I mean, even at this point at hardpoint, man, 119-6. How often do you see that?
You don't see it. And I guess it can also play a factor that, remember what you said a while ago at the start of the show, Nervo only had they've only formed 10 days ago.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing as well. And yes, they do have Adapt. You know, he was that second place from Eastern Championships, but he doesn't have those players.
Not the same.
Yeah, not the same players like Shut Up, Incendio. So it's very different, you know, for Cloud and Bok Choy hopping onto their first series going up against Eastern champions. That's a huge, such a pressure situation. And I understand the difficulty, but they have to take this into account and actually, you know, improve from this.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And when I say not the same, I also, mean the fact that it takes such a long time to have that team synergy, right? To be able
chemistry.
to... Yeah, that chemistry takes a long time to kind of go in there and bind. And Nervo is doing things right. The fact that they have already qualified to this stage of the competition in Garena Masters, they are already doing so many things right. And that's why I want to emphasize that this is just not the 100% fair matchup to kind of gauge exactly how far they can go in the competition, because they're taking on not just one of the best, but in fact, I don't even think arguably, I think undoubtedly the best in the competition right now.
Yeah, I do believe Black International.Ultimate's one of the top teams here, if not the top team to beat. And, you know, Nervo, they just had to be the ones for that first, for the first blood for them. And but that's very unfortunate. But, you know, like what we said, double round robin, AJ, that's a huge thing as well. So most definitely have a lot of time to actually get to that top two for their group and actually qualify for the playoffs. But for now, here is the end of the crossfire, and Yato here with the gloves here. This is just pure disrespect, but I mean, I guess it is for that showmanship. He just showed off a little bit of those boxing skills that he has, and I mean, this is pretty much a walkover in my opinion.
Yeah. I want to say it's disrespect, but you know, I do this all the time in rank these days as well. You put on the boxing gloves. It's so super fast, bro. You get that. It's not a speed boost, but you're super duper light. You get to maneuver around the battlefield quicker than your opponents, and nobody sees him coming. Look at him, Skulker, dead silence.
My God.
It's the perfect combo. He's just running around, grabbing them and punching them. I absolutely love what he did out there. And it was just re-emphasizing how much better they are as a squad in comparison to Nervo. But that was not even something for us to doubt in the first place, right? We just wanted to see how good was Nervo to keep up with them, and Nervo's just not ready for this sort of a battle. Against Yato, look at this guy. A 2.23 KDA so far, the best in the competition that we have spotted.
Double positive. Wow, don't see that all the time. 2.23 indeed. Only died 8 times in the series, actually, most of the time. And I mean, that's just Yato. You know, we saw him, we didn't see him in the Eastern Championship, but we saw what he did during the qualifiers, what impact he brought here, and now we're seeing him again full force with the team. And I think this is just the beginning for Yato's reign of terror.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, it's not gonna stop here. I really want to see more from this team of Blacklist International.Ultimate. And it's just that, unfortunately for Blacklist International.Ultimate, in a way they could not show off any of their strategies because they were forced, they were baited in by Nervo, right? After a few of those kills, Blacklist International.Ultimate just thought to themselves like, okay, why not just rush them? After that hardpoint matchup where they just detected that they were winning so many of those gunfights, the ideation of search and destroy was just rush them. Why wait? Why waste time? And it just worked out in their favor. And it just was proven again and again that the players of Nervo could not keep up with those gunfights. And in domination, it was a little bit more subdued. I'm surprised that Blacklist International.Ultimate were not going for the triple cap. And this is why I feel like there was no disrespect shown, because they actually held back a little bit. They only sent Yato out there, and the guy was punching people around with his melee, right? They weren't even taking a serious fight for the triple cap. If they had wanted to, I feel like this domination match could have been wrapped up a little bit faster. And that's exactly how much of respect the other teams within the competition needs to pay towards Blacklist International.Ultimate, because unfortunately, they do not have a choice. This team is just crazy.
I mean, they're just that damn good, and they are the Eastern champions for a reason. But that's going to be it for our first series, guys. That's match number 1. We have 3 more to go, but we'll be right back after this quick, short break. The Garena CODM Masters. I am your host, VV Jericho, down here with the Mustachio AJ. We just had one of the fastest series ever. Blacklist International taking the 3-0 versus Nervo, giving the first donut for this day number 2. And, that's what we expected. We both picked Blacklist International to win. And unfortunately, Nervo, they just struggled from the start, from the hard point to the S&D to the domination.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be it for that series. And now for our match number 2, we do have C8 Legacy versus the return of the Doctor AJ.
Is this going to continue? Is the plague of MYSE teams not being able to win against the Filipino teams within this competition still going to continue? Because I feel like this is going to be a challenge for the Doctors, right? Because C8 Legacy, they are pretty much newer. I think I would want to say they are slightly newer in comparison to Doctors. The Doctors have been around a little bit longer than them.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah, so they better be able to clutch this, man. That's all I'm gonna say. The Doctors, we've seen them in action before. We had a few comments. They needed to patch up some of their gameplay. They needed to patch up some of, and I'm not talking about mechanical plays. I'm talking about strategies. And you are going up against C8, who have clearly proven so far as a clan. I don't know who they hire as their coach, but they know what they're doing in Call of Duty Mobile when it comes to the competitive scene. So it's not going to be an easy walk in the park here.
Definitely not an easy walk in the park. They know what they're doing here. And let's take a look at our schedule. Like what we said, the match number 1, we did get our 3-1 from Blacklist versus Nervo. And our upcoming match right now is going to be CA Legacy and the Doctor. And right after that, it's going to be GaijiN and M420. And then for a match number 4, we have Rampage versus CA United.
I cannot wait to get to the third series. The second one I wasn't looking forward to because of the exact same reason that I wasn't looking forward to the first one. But here's the thing, the Doctors, we are looking forward to them, showing us, proving to us exactly how much have they grown since the last time we saw them. The last time we saw them, we had a lot to ask from them. The last time we saw them, we had a lot of, moments where some of those plays, the Doctors that they could have thrown out there, we thought they could have been a little bit more tighter. But let's see as we bring up the lineup of this squad, Jericho. First of all, whether or not we'll see all of this exact same players in there. Esfer, Pika, Gary, Kai, as well as Zen. Esfer, definitely one of the main players of the squad. And let's see whether or not Dr. Gary will be able to step it up for the team this time around.
I think I just remember Gary from the MYSG. I think it was the MY Championship. But other than that, it's a new look for the whole team, And I agree with you, Esfer from I believe 7-9. Am I right, AJ? I think he was from 7-9.
Yeah.
And a lot of experience, and hopefully it rubs off onto the Doctor here, which new faces here trying to make a name for themselves in the CODM community. And I'm liking it. Finally we do get new faces over at your home in Malaysia, AJ, and let's see if they can show off something here.
Yeah, let's see exactly what they will be able to bring out in this competition. It is going to most probably be a tough fight for the Doctors based on some of the strategies we've seen the C8 clan as a whole execute out there on the battlefield. The one thing that they can most definitely show great improvement in from the last time we did spot them would be the strategy, segment, right? But against the mechanical capabilities of C8 Legacy, there's going to be one as well. That one, I've got no idea exactly how this is going to pan out, Jericho.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to pan out, but here, let's take a look at C8 Legacy. We have Justin, Mark, HitX, Dre, Freezy, and a 7. Definitely young guns here, but they are going to be ready to actually, be on try to be on the top tier levels in the Philippines. But they have to go up against the Doctor. Not an easy task for them, but it's going to be a very good opener for them. Let's see if they can get that first win.
Oh, absolutely, man. The C8 Legacy, they are looking for it over the Doctors, and the Doctors have got so much to prove on in here. C8 Legacy, they don't have so much to prove, but they want to show the world exactly who their clan is, exactly what they're made of, and how far they can push this to. Well, shout out to Maggie, the one and only behind C8. I hope your team makes it all the way through. We will be able to see exactly how far they can cut it against the Doctors in here today. And I feel like it's a good method to compare. It's a good matchup to compare exactly how these two teams fare.
Yeah, it's a very good matchup indeed. I mean, hopefully they find something here, but I'm liking everything. I'm liking the confidence. I feel like these boys are ready to step on up, but this is going to be one of their first major tournaments. We've seen them in the local tournaments. Same with AGLA Esports. So I feel like they're in the right path as a team here, and hopefully they can show it off in this first series.
Absolutely, man. Well, good luck, C8. Let's see exactly what you can bring up against the Doctors, who we have had a lot of opportunities catching so far in action. And today, if they are able to step it up from the previous time we saw them, C8 Legacy, most definitely, they will have quite a bit to handle on their hands, Jericho.
Yeah, I think both teams are equally matched, but I feel like that one player that's really going to make that difference for me for both teams. I think Dre is going to make that. I've seen him play.
HitX.
I've seen HitX as well. Both those two players, they can make impacts that are very sudden, and all of a sudden you just see them make a play. But on the other side, I think Esfer has the one that he has that thing. He has that play that can actually work, and with that experience from Sem9, I think he can lead this team right.
Let's see exactly how things go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's our first time watching them in action. Let's see if or not they will be able to show us exactly what we've been missing all throughout the competition so far, right? C8 Legacy, as they continue to try to prove something in here for themselves, for their brand. The Doctors, I believe this is one of their first few, this is the biggest stage that they've been on so far. Isn't that right, Jericho?
It's been their biggest stage, I think, for especially for C8 Legacy. You know, they're always been in the on the local tournaments hosted by Cali and by Hugh, and I think this is a good step for them. You know, good experience as well. But remember, those first tournaments, we do see the nervousness, the pressure's always on them, and I hopefully they brush it off. And that's actually a skill. You know, when you're young and you get to that first tournaments, you know, you get shaky hands and stuff, but you can also practice it with you can practice it with in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, and I feel like they've already done enough out there in the community tournaments to really sharpen their skills and to, at the very least, take the fight up to the doctors. I feel like that is a no doubt point for me here. It's more towards the performance of the doctors that I'm curious of. I want to see exactly how far they have been able to step it up. And they've competed within the MYSG scene quite a lot already, taking it up against the Filipinos. That is a different level of gameplay altogether. Unfortunately, it is just the case in Call of Duty Mobile at the moment. So it's just, I mean, on that level in itself, it is already going to be a challenge because we have to look back at data. We have to look back at the stats. The country's stacked with players, bro.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's cracked here. I mean, quite literally cracked in Call of Duty. I mean, and especially in mobile, you just see the gyros just going everywhere. I mean, I think, but one thing though to point out here, I kind of note. I feel like both teams are okay on mechanical wise. I think they're both at the same level, but I think the ones that really gonna change the game sense one, and I think that's where MYSG comes out. More of the teamwork. I think that's the biggest thing that's going to be the factor. But here we go, maps and modes. AJ, the Doctor, they get the first the coin toss, and they're going to be banning Crossfire immediately. C8 Legacy, what are they going to counterban?
If they do not take off of the list, I fear for both of these teams, quite honestly. But I think I have spotted C8 Legacy playing Takeoff once, and they were quite good with the rotations. Doctors, on the other hand, I have not. So I don't see the idea of coming up here with the Crossfire ban, but it's absolutely fine, right? Doctors, Standoff might be a better option for them to bring in here. Firing range could be a good one as well, but they want to take the gauntlet, throw it not on the ground, but at the faces of C8 Legacy, dragging them into Takeoff.
Yeah, drag him to take off that map number 1, the Doctor. Okay, very, very interesting pick there, Ben. C8 Legacy, Summit, hardpoint for map number 4 if we have to go there, and that's going to be a one-sided map. And I expected Summit to be that game number 1, you know, just to be a very fast game, but they wanted to play Takeoff, a mid-more positional gunfight, early rotations kind of thing, long-range engagements. So I like this pick from the Doctor, but very, very controversial.
This is go big or go home time, and I feel like the Doctors are betting big on their series in here against C8 Legacy. Best of luck to them. This one, I'm most definitely going to give my heart out shoutcasting, because I feel like you are right when you said that they're quite equally mechanically matched, right? It's all going to come down to those rotations, to each and every single one of those strategies that are pulled off. Raid, Surge, and Destroy, one that we have grown to love shoutcasting. It's a very balanced map when you take a look at SND, and the Doctors are going to be starting things off on the attack first. So this is from C8 Legacy, and I've seen them play Raid SND before. They absolutely crush it here, so the Doctors better be ready.
Yeah, the lock to be better in C8 Legacy. They wanted to stick to what they like, and that's going to be such a certain Raid. And now the Doctor, if it does go to a game number 5, they are going to choose it in firing range, search and destroy. So that leaves us with Standoff Domination. Anybody's map, it's going to come down to that rotation, the overextension. Are you going to go for that C flag immediately, or are you going to try to slay out the enemies first? So it really comes down. I'm looking at the maps here, AJ. It's more of, if you have a better position, you're going to win the gunfight.
Oh yeah. I mean, Takeoff, quite honestly, it does. They take away the death machine. I understand C8 Legacy going in there for that ban. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of the purifiers, potentially even the gravity vortex at Takeoff. That's most definitely going to be it. Over at Raid later on, it's just going to be all out Annihilator, man. Won't even be surprised if the Annihilator comes out there for the pop at Takeoff. But just not as effective if the death machine was left available in that map, because that's the one place where the death machine makes the most impact.
Yeah, that death machine is going to be very, very impactful, but now we do see Annihilator is going to come out here, and I think with the death machine being removed, I think that an Annihilator is the one that's going to be for that long range, mid range, but also the Equalizer. I've seen that in a couple of some pro players been using it, and that could be definitely good, especially in that P3 and P4, very close engagement. You could just spray it down. So I think that's going to be also an idea, but at the same time, Gravity Vortex as well. It can also cover up doors. So a lot of choices at your disposal. It's just when and how you're going to use them as a team.
Yeah, my personal favorite, the Purifier. I hope that is the star, playmaker of this particular series within this two itself. It's not banned out, so let's see if or not they will be able to take advantage of that buff it got recently. I most definitely enjoy playing the Purifier. No aim, bro. Just spray and pray.
Spray and pray, indeed. I actually, I do that a lot of times, but it's just it's pretty. I don't know.
Goodness me.
But C8 though. They're starting off really strong.
Strong is an understatement. I think that was like, what, 6 or 7 kills back-to-back that the players of C8 Legacy managed to hit over the Doctors. Let's see if or not they can recover in here, because mechanically they are losing out on a majority of these gunfights.
Yeah, majority of these gunfights, indeed, they are losing, and C8, they're taking over immediately. Slow start for the Doctor. They do have control of that top Aurora, so I said that P4. But here comes the Doctor trying to make the play. They have it contested, but they're still fighting for that P1. But look at that P2. The P2, you see that scaffolding. You need to get in that immediately. And we do see C8. They are spawning back over at P2. And finally, the Doctor, they managed to get it, break that, and get some scrap there.
Yeah, Doctor, but they're not playing the power positions just yet. Finally, one player inside of that second floor Aurora launch, but very carelessly jumps immediately out of it. They need to go in there for that early rotation in for that P2, but spawning out of generators, most definitely not the best place. They need to break the spawns overheld at Crane by the one and only 7. Once 7 goes down, the Doctors will be able to make a better comeback here, but they have to focus on breaking that spawn first.
Yeah, breaking that spawn first indeed now, but 7 here has that SKS. We do usually see an SVD here, but 5 kill streak for him. It's been working out. Make that 6. Can he make it 7? 1 away from a cluster strike. Yes, he gets it. And look at this, just spamming it, and that's gonna be a triple with the Pred. Takes him out, and the Doctor, they are struggling. He wants to go for it. Annihilator still alive. 7 is just on a tear here. Make that 8. Make that 9, please. This guy is on a mission to actually finally gets taken now, but it doesn't matter. Fully streaked out. Wow, that is the damage already, AJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And from the get-go, we can see that the strategy that the Doctors are pulling off at Takeoff is not as solid as I thought it would be. I mean, it was such a confident pick of Takeoff for Hardpoint, man. I'm mind blown right now, but it's a good early rotation coming through from the team in towards that P3, but they're not holding on to the spawns just yet. Finally, one player in the name of Sphere jumps on over to the generators holding the spawn, but he gets taken down, and C8 Legacy instantaneously overcomes them with the sheer mechanical capabilities, brings out the cluster strike in their spawn, and they hold the spawn of generators for themselves. This is a GG. Finally, spawn broken by the Doctors. It's a good start for a comeback in here. 30 seconds, anything can happen. They win those gunfights, stepping on in. Zed with a good play on the SVD. That's a good crack of the hard point. Can they now hold on to this? Purifier comes in here to barbecue all of the players, but an Annihilator response by Zen. Fried out still, and 7 is still attacking everyone with the SKS.
And Dre is fully streaked out the Thumper play as well, and nothing is happening for the Doctor. They need a Doctor here in hardpoint. Red comes down again. Cluster strike already. Dragonfire ready as well, and the Doctor, they need to find something here. They have that. They need to bring out the Purifier. This is the start. Gary inside the hill hasn't shot that Purifier yet, but he might just get taken out. He's gonna get pinched out from both sides. He finally gets a kill there, but he needs help from his teammates, and there is Zen with that SVD setup in the middle of the map, holding down the spawns. But Legacy, they have a lot of time to just break it and actually use their utilities.
Yeah, it's a good play, but he carelessly steps out, and the moment he does freeze, he takes him out with a thumper. Kai is there for the backup. Purifier on for the pump. I have never seen this skin before. How in the world did he get... my goodness me, Garena. You got to bring that back. I want to buy it. Freezy strings himself out as well. Gets the bread on activation. 123 to 42. C8 Legacy finally breaks the hill and now is running away with the matchup. 17 seconds to go. Can they finish it off right here, right now? Bread will not be able to find anyone. The break needs to come through, but at the very least, the challenge. 10 more seconds to go. C8 Legacy will have to go in there for the reset at Fountain.
Yeah, but damage has been, I mean, they just got that scrap time. 144 to 42, 6 more points before the game ends. Hit X still on a tear. Make that 10 kills for him, 4 kill spree as well. But there's only 5 more points. They're just going to hop on to Gary, trying his best to contest the hill. But it's just a little bit too late. Cluster Strikes should be able to drop in a while. And CA Legacy, they are just dominating this game.
Yeah, the Doctors just buying precious time for themselves. But the moment the cluster was brought on through, they wrapped things up. 150 to 46. It was not as dominant as that Blacklist International.Ultimate going up against Nervo, but it was most dominant indeed throughout that whole time. I'm a little disappointed here with the Doctors because you cannot pull Takeoff as your first map when you win the coin toss and then show up in that way, bro. It was a very questionable decision from their part.
Questionable from the beginning, you know. Just when I just saw that Takeoff, I'm like, no, this is either you're setting up for success or for failure. And
I was excited.
Yeah, I was excited too.
I thought like, oh my god, the guts to pull this off
Gutsy
against C8 Legacy. Because, you know, like you mentioned, there's been a lot of these community tournaments that C8 Legacy has been a part of, which means there's a lot of homework that you could have done before this competition. And like I said, I've watched them perform at Takeoff in the past, and they're quite sound with all of their rotations and the strategies that they pull off. And if you want to beat them at that, you need to, at the very least, make sure you've done your homework to know that your rotations are just going to be so much better, right? And I can understand if they were losing on the gunfights, but they were just not as sharp in terms of breaking all of those spawns. And unfortunately, they just did not impress the way I thought they would in this first matchup.
Yeah, it was just really unfortunate because, you know, they had that lady luck on their side. If they probably went for a standoff, I think it'd have been a little bit closer. You know, they just got outplayed, and you know, losing on the map that you actually chose is very demoralizing because, you know, you're expected to be better in that map, but C8 just, you know, they just had a counter for that one, especially 7 with that kill spree. I mean, they could have even touched P2. They were C8 was untouchable in P2.
My problem is not with them losing in that fashion, right? I mean, if they'd gone in for any of the other maps, if they had lost it in this fashion, I would have just accepted it. It's just that, you know, they stepped on in, they did not know what to expect. C8 Legacy was just better. That's about it. But the fact that they brought us into Hardpoint Takeoff, one of the, not the easiest map to master, that's the most important thing here, is what, you know, kind of makes me wonder exactly what the idea here is from the Doctors. Now, they've bombed that first map, they've bombed their own selection. They need to step on into Search and Destroy and play the best SND they have ever played in their lives just to redeem themselves, Jericho.
Yeah, they got to take some notes from Blacklist International, how they played an SD. Yeah, they got to make a comeback indeed, because if once you go down 0-2,
yeah,
you are in a very deep hole, my friend. That is not impossible, but at this point, it's not even a close game in that game number 1. What are you gonna expect for that game number 3? Is it gonna be the same? Most of the time, it is. But if they want to do something, this is the game. They have to go round by round, work as a team, have the adjustment that they need, hit everything they have. So hopefully the Doctors, they can make that comeback.
Yeah, and hopefully we do not see them overextend in these rounds just way too much, right? They should be able to find at the very least one of those kills first, just down the numbers of C8 Legacy, who are taking a defensive position in this matchup because the Doctors chose the offensive. So if they go in there for those rushes, I anticipate what happened at that takeoff just to happen again. Don't go in for those rushes. But Spur shut down, Mark takes out Gary. This is just turning out to be an absolute nightmare as I speak of it.
Yeah, nightmare did hit. Finally, they actually get a trade. Freezy. He's gonna get one and no trade from the side of the Doctor here. Mark gets Pika. And Freezy finally takes out Kai, and that's going to be one in. Oh, AJ, just a fast round for CA to the Doctor. One by one, they fall. They need something going here. But before, I just want to say a quick shout out to Cali Gaming. Shout out to you, one of an up and coming caster. Hello.
C8 Legacy on the defense now, throwing in 4 players towards the B-bomb side. Just one holding on to basketball court. This is the best opportunity for the Doctors, but the ones holding on to it is the one and only Mark. Great on the DLQ. Those quick scopes are absolutely spicy. Justin, on the other hand, just holding on to that B-bomb side. Now the bomb, the moment Mark hits them with that snipe, everybody starts second-guessing themselves, and the Doctors are immediately slowed down. Mark repositions himself. Can he hit yet another quick scope? The thumper shot out of Zen most definitely spotted. Mark will be able to slay, and he delivers with the knife. He has got that speed boost to get in towards money, grab the guy from kitchen as well, but he plays it patient, not overextending, once again showing the qualities of C8 Legacy. The attacking side only has one final player in the name of Kai. Once again, earlier on, he could not take it. Let's see if round number 2, he manages to pull this off. Justin, spotted out. Good shot coming through. 2 more to go.
Yeah, 2 more to go indeed. But Kai, can he actually make this possible? But look at that. Look at the trades that is ready. If someone gets taken out here, there's going to be another player just being ready to actually get that trade. But he still hasn't picked up the bomb. You know, he had so much time to pick it up a while ago. But he just want to get scores for the kills. And 7 repositions himself, gets that kill. 2-0 for the side of C8. A little bit better round there from the Doctors, you would say, but just no trades from them.
That one you have to respect 7, right? Because he just went in there engaging a sniper, and the best thing that you can do for yourself is reposition and try to peek him again. You don't want to really be peeking him from that same spot. If he had, then it would have been a GG because Kai would have been able to nail that shot. Mark with the blind shot through the smoke, but 7 finds Zen out of nowhere. 7, can he get yet another? A very careless push by Sphere. I did not expect that from a player of his quality, and now the rest of those guys stuck in Tiki. Let's see if 7 goes in here for the full-on wall bang with the Holger, repositions himself from the right, spots a player out. Justin bags one, 7 as well. This is just all-out annihilation frenzy by C8 Legacy.
Yeah, C8 Legacy just really turning it up in this S&D, and the Doctor, no adjustments whatsoever. Maybe try to do a different kind of rush, you know, maybe just having someone watch the flank first, get some picks, get some information, use your utilities just to get some, you know, just to get the upper hand for them. But look at C8, they're just going to be rushing in, and finally, there you go. That's what you need to do. If they keep on rushing, you just got to get those easy picks from them. That's going to be 1 down for C8. Mad advantage goes to the Doctor. And now let's see what they can do here. They do have a player in the middle. It's going to be hit X. That's going to be a very huge, but Kai takes out another one. Finally, 5-3. They can just go into B here, but Freezy is there for some kills. He gets 2, and just like that, Mad advantage is still on their side. And now it's all up to Mark in a 1 versus 2. Does get 1. And he clutch. Oh, he spots him, almost hits that shot, but he sees the foot. Actually sees the foot, but decides not to shoot it. But he has that information, and now he's just going to try to make his way and try to make a play.
But one backstab coming through. Esfer, great with the game sense, understands exactly how he needs to pressure Mark. Now with this backstab out, he should be able to catch Mark at Laundry, who repositions himself. The bomber not having that bomb planted on the ground just yet. Zen just reveals his position once again with those sounds, giving Mark that opportunity to understand exactly how he needs to cut this distance. Quick scope, not possible. Mark banned out by Zen. Good play by the Doctors to make one comeback.
Yeah, I feel like Mark didn't play that 1v2 really well, but you know, in the Doctor, there was a risk for letting Esfer actually flank, because if he got taken out, that could have been a round 4 CM. But finally, the Doctor finally get that 1 point in the board. Mark again on the screen. We'll get that information. Someone's in the middle, and I like this from the Doctor again, just slowing things down again. But look at the Doctor. Look at C8. They're just gonna be over aggressing Freezy now in a different kind of position. Gonna be in that top art, waiting for someone to peek out. And the Doctor just trying to get a lot of information here, but no picks yet.
Yeah, and I feel like the doctors are playing this right. Allow C8 Legacy to overextend. Allow them to make some careless mistakes. Let them get over egoistic with their approaches and then punish them for it. Gary pulls it off perfectly. And this is what the doctors need, to just wait on C8 Legacy, read their steps, and just pull in all of these counter plays. Pika now spotting one out from afar. The Thumper's not going to be able to hit, but he understands. One is already in laundry, and he sends out that information to the rest of his players. Tries to bag him out with the backstab, and he will be able to find Mark as well. Final player hit X with the CBR, manages to take one down in the name of Esper, the most experienced player from the side of the doctors. Let's see if or not he will be able to bag yet another. It's a 1v3 situation. Even for hit X, that's quite the ask.
That's quite the task indeed. 1 versus 3, 15 seconds left. Hit X, can he make the play? Well, spot one, he does flick on him, but there's gonna be another player behind him. No more time. The trades are there, and also the double challenge. Finally, the doctor. 2 rounds in a row. Can they keep on going? Such a sides now. Defense now is the name of the game. And I feel like they're going to do better here because they felt really uncomfortable on that offensive side, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, they were just waiting on the players of C8 Legacy to come in there for the push earlier on. And hopefully they do the exact same this time around. The attacking side moving on in towards that basketball court immediately with all of those nades. Utilities tossed up as well. Hit X with immediate approach into a blocker. Gets the backstab. Freezy bags both Zen as well as Fur. And now 3 more players left in here. Freezy, is he going to be able to pull one back? Steps on straight in front of Kai Kai. Kai Kai takes one out, but thumps himself out of the equation as well. Gary with the backstep in from Money. Is he going to be able to find one in Tiki? Those players are well hidden, and 7 bags him from across. Pika, the final player with the CBR, has no range with the gun, and he hopes with the prey and that spray he gets one, but none at all. Thumper backs away into Kitchen. This is a 1v3 that's going to be tough, Jericho.
1v3, tough indeed. 15 seconds left. That's what I make a play. The M13. Oh, 7 actually gets taken out, and Justin just trying to bait out the enemy. Doesn't even need the challenge. This should be around for C8 unless all of a sudden Pika just defuses the bomb, but it doesn't matter anymore. No more time. Good round for C8. Nice. Just really fast. He still gets the clutch, but it doesn't matter anymore. 4-2. C8, 2 away from the game.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need out of the doctors, right? Tenacity, and it's a great play coming through from all of them this time round. Mark delivering as usual for the side of C8 Legacy, but the doctors understand. The doctors know that there are some weaknesses here that they can exploit. They just have to be able to ensure a quicker rotation on the defense this time round. There will be one player spotting out from Money, but he's immediately called by on Frenzy. Esfer trying to get that flank done from Central Garden. He needs to be a little bit more quicker in there. Gary as well as Fur trading one out each. Freezy manages to bag Gary back out in a crossfire. It is a 2v2 left on in here. Freezy with the KRM on for the approach towards Money. Pika backs away. Freezy will be able to survive the bomb on the ground.
A bomb on the ground. Esfer was out the thumper. Direct hit to Justin. It's all up to Freezy now. Oh, the timing. The timing. He spots him. But now there's 2 players. Unfortunately, if he took out Esfer earlier, they might have picked up that Type 25 and re-challenged that player over at poolside. But unfortunately, they are going to lose that round. The doctor taking it now. Now it's going to be 4-3. Slowly now we do see the cracks of C8 popping up, and the doctor taking advantage.
You have to take advantage, and I'm just so excited to see that the doctor is able to adjust right. All of those micro adjustments coming through round after round to make sure they punish C8 Legacy for overstepping the boundaries. And now tagging up 3 players inside of the square center already. B-bomb side is the plan this time around from the players of C8 Legacy. Holding on to that gallery as well. Art is going to be the perfect spot for Mark, and he does not manage to spot one player out just yet. The wall bang does not come through, but 7 bags too.
The 7 bags too here. Freezy, big gunfight here. He's going to take out Esper or versus 2, but the trade is there. Still winnable situation if you are C8. You do have a nade here to use. Kai Kai has to try to throw it out. He has to throw it out, but there's only 20 seconds left. Justin takes out Zen. No trade. Kai Kai, last player alive. Can he make the play? Seems impossible. There's 3 players looking at him, and that's going to be it. C8 going to go up to match point, AJ.
Yeah, and it was a great adjustment, round after round coming through from the Doctors the past 3 months. But C8 Legacy, it was just about time they caught up with these plays, right? Because mechanically, we have to give it to Freezy. He definitely knows how to bag all of those kills alongside Seven, and they just have to make sure they played nice and steady. Don't push into those sites all too early. Wait for the players of the Doctors to over-aggress, because now the Doctors are the ones who are getting a little bit jittery with their plays. Zen manages to bag Freezy after hit X takes Esfer out of the equation. Zen now holding on to the corner out of Garden, will not be able to find a player, but information gets played back. The rest of them at the Tiki, they are not going to be taken down by Gary just yet. Seven spotting a player at open stairs. Central Garden, it will be the one and only Pika who bags away as well. On for the retake. The Doctors are in a tough spot.
My God, C8, just one player alive. Seven ends it there with a double kill. 6-3. C8 Legacy, they take a 2-0, and the Doctor showed signs of life there towards the middle of the game and then towards the end as well. But C8, they managed to make an amazing play towards the end as well. And just really unfortunate for the Doctor. I saw signs of hope there, AJ, but C8 just a little bit better in S&D.
Yeah, we expected this after witnessing round number 1 at Hardpoint. We expected the mechanical capabilities of these players of C8 Legacy to overcome the Doctor very easily. But it was the point of how the Doctors should have found all of those weak points. And when we were wishing for it, it's the moment where they struck gold, right? Because here comes C8 Legacy, overconfident, rushing in towards the attackers. And all they needed to do was just hang back and bag it against them. The unfortunate part here is, after they had managed to bring in all of those adjustments, they had to switch sides. And that just threw them off their game a little bit more. Once again, they were put into a situation where they needed to readjust to the gameplays of C8 Legacy. And here's the one thing that I know for sure, man. They weren't able to do it within the series, but it is a double round robin. C8 Legacy better be prepared the next time they meet the Doctors, because I know if the Doctors can make those adjustments within this matchup itself, this series will be able to teach them a lot.
Yeah, I know those adjustments, we saw it during at least the 4th to 5th round, but it just took too long for them. But I feel like when the rematch happens, AJ, like what you said, I think it's going to be a different story. But so far, we got to talk about C8. 11 from Freezy, 7 with 10 kills as well. Mark with 7, those nasty snipes by him really helped them to get that victory. And now let's see if they can actually make that 3-0 in Crossfire. And I mean, I feel like C8, they're looking pretty good now.
Yeah, and when we talk about Domination Crossfire, we've already watched it once in here today, and we are potentially just going to see pretty much the same things come out. But what the Doctors have been able to prove is Standoff. My apologies. What the Doctors have been able to prove is that they have been able to make those adjustments within the search and destroy. Over at the respawn, it was a little bit of a disappointment, but this is the pick of the Doctors. Let's see if or not they will be able to show us exactly why they went in there with these selections. At the very least, even if they're not going to be able to make a huge comeback, be able to prove it at Standoff that they can win some of their map picks.
Yeah, hopefully they can go through that map picks and so that they can actually win their map picks. And this one is going to be very interesting. Standoff Domination, not a balanced map. It really comes down to who really controls what. The Granny's house is going to be very important. You're going to have that guy with a Holger just mowing people down in the middle, and as well as people going through the back alley, going to tractor, just being annoying, getting some kills. Just getting 3 down, it means he can actually cap already on B. So let's see what kind of strategy comes out here. Are we going to see some shotguns? Because for some time now, I don't really see shotguns in Domination anymore.
I can tell you, bro, you will be able to see it at Standoff. Standoff's just that one map where the shotgun players are... Okay, SKS switched out by Justin here. Let's see if he continues teasing us, because the shotgun most definitely a weapon of choice for me personally if I want to step on into Standoff. Just recently started practicing on it, and I can understand exactly why all of those KRM players just love that shotgun, man. No hit mark at all, and on a map where it's just this small, each and every single one of those corners, it's all depending on how far fast you respond, you should be able to get the advantage real quickly. And the B flag, very early on, the pressure comes through by the doctors. Are they going to be able to bag it? Justin, deploys all of them right back to their spawn with the thumper. It's not going to be as easy as the doctors think. They have to devise a better plan for this setup. No utilities used in that mid there. They have to get better control of those power positions. At the very least, the second floor of Bakery first.
Yeah, you really have control of these power positions. There's going to be Dre trying to make the play in Brown, but they're going to leave that open, and now this might be the opening for them unless Freezy makes the play here. Unfortunately, switches weapon at the wrong moment. That's going to be 2 down, but the Thumper makes the play. They take out Zen. No more SVD for the side of Doctors, but so far, that 2-cap for them is working out, even though they don't clear out that B flag. They're just really, they're just getting the kills that they need.
Yeah, they don't really need a triple cap in here just yet, but they need to clear off the markers because it's just a couple of seconds before the doctors pull this off. And now throwing 2 men in there, they should be able to execute this B flag. Not in the hands of the doctors just yet because Justin steps on to the plane in the nick of time. And we also have to acknowledge there is one player holding on to the second floor of Granny's house, right? That is Justin. Finally, he has been taken down. The doctors, they are bringing in those adjustments. They know exactly what is causing them to lose the hold on these flags, and they are trying to make those adjustments, and now it's just a matter of keeping up with the mechanical plays. Great positioning by Kai from convenience store, gives that backup at house. The communication by the doctors, between them seems to be in full effect as well. I have got full faith that they will be able to make a comeback in here if they can overcome the C8 legacy in some of these gunfights, Jericho.
Yeah, they can overcome this if they start winning these gunfights, but Pika already over at the side of A. He's going to be that one distracting the enemy team, but he's all alone. Yeah, his teammates also have to win some gunfights there. They finally captured B here, trying to make a small comeback, but look at C8. They're not going to overextend into C. They still want to work their way through the middle, but here comes Esper with that Purifier, trying to get that scorching that he needs, but unfortunately, he might just get taken out by the SKS. Yes, he's going to get taken out. 58 to 45. Things, finally, the Doctor showing signs of life here in this domination.
CBR in the hands of Freezy, and he will be able to just run around and shut them down at decks. But as I say that, Dre shuts him out from, Zen shuts him out from afar. The SVD coming into action. Freezy on that reset. He has to find some play here from the warehouse, makes the play instead all alone for that C flag, and that's one of the best decisions that you can pull off here, solo, and he distracts so many of the players of the Doctors all at the same time, and that is something that the Doctors need to take note of, right? In terms of conversation, why do you need 4 players attacking that flag all at the same time? Your best case scenario here is you have to hold on to the B flag, but thankfully, none of the players from C8 Legacy were at a great position to make a play for the flag just yet, and they are right back on the defense. Zen with the SVD, shots from afar, and Freezy bags him with the CBR instead.
And the CBR just making a name for this. And the Doctor actually takes the lead here in that first half, 75 to 73, keeping things interesting here for the second half. And we did see C8 struggle towards the end, not really getting much kills here. Dre missing those Annihilators, and they actually burned out 1 Annihilator. So let's see how the Doctor plays it up, because they've also used a lot of their Purifiers here. Yeah. It'd be very, very important here. Hit X in that tank, trying to get those first blood. He's going to get taken out. And so far, the Doctors, they get 3 down. That's going to be an easy B cap.
Oh, perfect in here, but they still do have one guy holding on to the second floor of Bakery on the side of C8 Legacy. So they have to be able to fight that off first. The Doctors, on the other hand, have lost their hold of that power position. This is the opportunity for C8 Legacy to cap that flag. Information gets sent through, but look at this. Zen is right back on that point of power position to make sure he prevents all of that. And the Doctors, they did not have a chance at takeoff because there was just no solid rotations, no solid planning in terms of all of their attack. But at standoff, they surely are holding their own.
Yeah, they're surely holding them their own. They finally have their strategies on lockdown, but Zen still alive. The SVD making its appearance here, working towards those streaks, but he finally gets taken out, and that might be that opening they need. Hit X hopping on towards A, and the overextension is going to come through, but the Purifier at the back, it's going to make the play. Hit X still alive, but finally they take him out, and they're going to clear that out. But so far, no one's captured B here. Still a close game for both teams.
Purifier H2O. Why was I so busy that I did not manage to go in there for this draw, man? GG, man. I'm so jealous of that Purifier skin right now. It is that A and B flag strong in the hole of the Doctor's hand. Dre has got the bread to play out as well. They are struggling for that B flag, but finally with 2 men on it, nobody on hold for that power position, the C8 Legacy squad manages to finally pull that one flag right back. The Doctors are all holding on to their spawns. Here comes the drone as well. The Dragonfire going to be getting that information from them. And Dre, on the other hand, just pulls in the backstab. All of the Doctors sitting down there for a group team meeting, and they just didn't fire back.
They didn't fire back indeed. That's very unfortunate for them. You know, Dre with full streaks as well has a sentry gun to use. But here comes the overextender from number 5. Esper trying to make a play on his own, but trade is there by C8. 112 to 109. Slowly running away with this one, but still a winnable game if you are the Doctor. You know, you gotta try to capture B, get that player off market, use your smokes as well, but here we go.
Zen himself this time going in here to play for the B flag, and he will be able to hold his own, but unfortunately eats a thumper. And Dre still has not pulled out the trump card just yet. He has got the cluster in hand. Zen drops a great red missile, takes out Freezy as well as Dre, makes a play now for that B flag, but the Doctors are not putting in enough pressure to be able to execute this. 7 now brings out the sentry as a backup just to pressure all of those players, spawn trap them at that A flag so that they can now run away with this matchup. And I kind of believe C8 Legacy already has this game in the bag because of the score streaks. They just have not invested just yet.
And finally, as soon as you say that, the cluster comes in. They're going to be protecting C, and they're also getting A as well. The final trip cap for this game, and that's going to be it, AJ. That is game. That is 3-0 again. Back-to-back 3-0. C8 Legacy taking out the Doctor in convincing fashion in the first 2 games. But this one, the Doctor, they brought out their best here, but I feel like they just have to do something else to actually, you know, they could have won this game. It was just those streaks that really costed them.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. But you know, that was on the Doctor side. On behalf of C8, on the side of C8 Legacy, stellar gameplays in terms of all those rotations, the strategies that they pulled off at takeoff, and then when they came in here to stand off, it was just both similar, right? In terms of all of the respawn modes that they played, that they were going in there with a very sound strategy and executing them time and time again. The first part of that strategy is always have a man on that power position before you try to make a play. And if you do not have anyone on that power position, do not make a play. It's such a simple instruction that they stuck to the T with, and each and every single time they did try to go in there for a push on that flag, they were able to win it. The biggest difference here was the adjustments that came through from the Doctors after the first 2 matches. That was something C8 Legacy did not expect to face at Standoff.
Yeah, I think they thought it was gonna be easier, just like in Hardpoint, but you know, Domination a little bit slower now. You know, more mid-paced. You know, you got to play more positional. Try to get some kills first before you start pushing up and setting up for those spawn traps. That's what they didn't expect. But you know, Dre, 7, Freezy, and Justin all stepped up. You know, Hitex as well, being that player, being annoying, getting a lot of information. But for the side of the Doctor, I mean, I'm proud of what they did there. You know, Esper with 26, very, very good. Zen and Pika almost at 20. But Gary and Kai, they still need to step up more in order for them to actually reach that top 2.
Oh yeah, and you know, I feel like they will be able to do exactly that in the second round of this meeting. But this is a huge wake-up call as well. This third game was a huge wake-up call for C8 Legacy to tell them that what they are bringing into these games might not be enough in round number 2 against the Doctors. So they cannot take it easy on themselves. Even though they have gotten a 3-0 victory, they need to go back and they need to study all of the you know, actions taken by the Doctors in terms of the retakes of all of those flags at Standoff, because this was the place where they saw a tough fight come back through, and at one point it just looked like they were about to lose it, but the confidence was just there, right? A sound mind in terms of who's the shot caller for the squad. He most definitely knows Call of Duty Mobile Pro scene good enough to understand that all of those precious score streaks are not meant to be wasted until you truly need them, because if they had not invested that cluster strike towards the very end, they would have lost that C flag, and it would have still been a possible comeback for the Doctors.
Yeah, it could have been a possible comeback by them, and that cluster strike, it was just really super late. At least they just needed 10 more points. They dropped it in because the over accession came through at A. And with that cluster strike, I already knew it was already a GG.
Yeah.
All the players of the Doctors were just spawning out.
Yeah.
No trades whatsoever. And at the same time, no operator skills to use because they used it all at the same time. And unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be a play.
And it also, timing is a huge part of this, right? Because we've seen cluster strikes being called upon a team that goes in there for a cap on flag, and it just hits them a couple of seconds too late. The flag is already captured, and then all that squad needs to do is just focus on picking up the B flag. And you know you are going to lose the numbers gameplay because you will have a couple of players on your own side backing away, looking for that comfort under that cluster strike to be able to cap that flag on your own, but the focus will be at the B flag. So those are the kind of plays that could have been executed by the Doctors if at all C8 Legacy mistimed their score streaks towards the end of the game. But that just wasn't the case, right? C8 Legacy, they were just so precise with all of the executions towards the end of the game, and they managed to wrap things up clean. 150-46 at takeoff, super convincing, super solid from their end. At the very same time, ultimately disappointing from the side of the Doctors. Raid SND, it was just an all-out confident C8 Legacy who then realized that they were making a mistake because their overconfidence made them pay in a couple of rounds, and they took a couple of steps back. Standoff, they truly saw the fight in the Doctors, and they had to step it up towards the very end.
Yeah, they had to step it up indeed towards the very end. And I think that's where it came down. That game says that I was talking about from the start. That's where it came out when C8 was like, okay, wait, they're pushing us up. Let's just wait for them first. We have streaks to use if they do push up. But they actually won the gunfights they need. And that was the one that put the nails in the coffin.
Yeah, exactly, man. And C8 Legacy, once again, taking a look at their recap matchup here over at Takeoff. It was an unfortunately disappointing showing coming through from the players of the Doctors, right? They should have done their homework a little bit better. They should have understood that this is one of the maps that C8 Legacy has gone in and truly mastered. And for a simple fact, because if you had watched the Eastern Championship, right, for the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship, you will understand that this was a map that was just so crucial for those teams to go in there and master, because it was the trump card map. And if you were able to master, it's a GG for your opponents, right? And C8 Legacy, they do their homework in that way. Unfortunately, the Doctors, even with their doctorate, did not sit down and do their studies.
Yeah, I agree with you. Knowing Takeoff is actually very good. Until it's been removed, you still have to learn it. But now we hop over to S&D, and this is where things started to shift away from the side of the Doctor. The C8 Legacy, they ran away with the first 3 rounds, and the Doctor, they answered back with 3 more. But once C8 knew what kind of strategies they pulled off, that's when they started being super confident themselves and actually, not over pushing and just waiting for teammates to actually make a play.
Oh, yeah. And, the Doctors, with all of the adjustments that they brought in, they were able to get a couple of rounds and then one more round right after that. But it was just all about that, right? Because C8 Legacy is also the team that is able to make these adjustments within these matches. 7, although he managed to step it up time and time again for the team, he was not the only guy who was out there shining. We also did see, tremendous displays of perfection coming through from the one and only Mark through all of those snipes. Hit X, he did not hit as hard as I expected him to in this matchup.
Yeah, he was really struggling from start to finish, especially in that domination. I guess he's a little bit lucky that his teammates picked up the slack for him. But I expect him to play better in the next couple of turns and the next days, actually, because he's a really great player. But I feel like he just had a slump today, just a bad day for him.
Oh, yeah, and it was just unfortunate. And of course, the Search and Destroy continued on. This was the unfortunate situation where Dr. Pika almost got the clutch, but the bomb still went off. 7 continued just running all of them down. 6-3, that's how it ended. And in this domination matchup, this was where the surprise came through, right? Because initially, they were not really winning a lot of the fights because of the dominating play by Justin over at Granny's. He stood out at that roof and he continuously played so much of pressure, not allowing them to step onto that B flag. And the adjustments that was brought through was the Doctor sent in 2 players to go in there for that round flank, shut him down, and then really open up the map for themselves. And once they started making all of those adjustments, they really caught C8 Legacy off guard.
Yeah, they really caught them off guard, just being annoying. Like here, Dre, example, on a 7 kill spree here, and look at this, look at you see Esper at the back. They're just, I mean, I don't know, maybe a disconnect could happen there, but the pressure was just really applied to them, and the way they were using their scores, their operator skills, which is really huge. 7 here with another, finally drops that sentry gun, and the Doctor, no answer, and I feel like, but this was their best game actually from all the 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And it was a great standing, it was a great comeback, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to take down a super confident and super capable C8 Legacy. And especially when you have a player like 7 on your side, a double positive here, the KD of 211 with the average kills of 19.67 and average deaths of 9.33. He was most definitely delivering in each and every single one of those matches.
Yeah, he was definitely doing a lot, especially in that first game. That's where you felt his presence the most. And then after that domination, he switched up guns, and he's a flexible player, and I like his playstyle a lot. And I hope it just keeps on going for C8 Legacy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And the clan as a whole has managed to show and prove that they are worth to have your bet placed on them, right? In terms of taking these 3 matches up against the Doctors, they have proven to really know and understand Call of Duty Mobile at its core. Those rotations were really perfect, man. I mean, we talk about a map like Takeoff, which is not easy to master. It looks like they've gotten it sorted out.
I mean, by the way they were playing, 7 alone, I feel like that was the play. We're like, you know what, you guys can just hop on. I'll be here doing my thing. I'll get 10 kills for you guys, and they've mastered the map, so I think that's a good trump card for them. But that just gives more info for the other teams that, oh, okay, they like Takeoff, then might as well just ban it at the start.
Yeah, and no utilities were being used to take 7 off of that spot, right? They already knew he was playing so much of pressure just with the SKS. They should have thrown in those smokes first. You could have gone in there with a couple of grenades right after. You could have just done something creative to take 7 out, but instead all we saw was they just kept running straight towards
Sparging
him, allowing him to just streak himself up. And the moment the guy got his streaks on, he just played a even better game at Takeoff. So it was just an all-out GG. Hopefully the Doctors really take notes from that matchup. The next time we see them taking these guys on is a better fight. We're going to go on a quick short break here, 5 minutes. When we come back, series number 3. Call of Duty Mobile Masters. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Coach Jericho, bringing you guys all of the hottest donuts because today, that's all we have been able to witness, right? When the day opened up, it was Blacklist International.Ultimate serving it up against Nervo. And then we just saw C8 Legacy really show the doctors exactly how Call of Duty Mobile needs to be played at takeoff. And then they tried to do it over at the other two matches. They succeeded, but the doctors really answering back towards the very end. And that's the kind of adjustments that we want to see from all of these teams, Jericho, because in a double round robin setup for the group stages itself, it just gives us a little bit of hope, a little bit of a insight towards what may happen in the next time they come across each other. And of course, like what you see in the match number 1 and 2, just like what I just broke down earlier on. And now GaijiN will be taking on M420 Lowkings. The question is, are we going to see yet another 3-0? It is highly unlikely, I believe, as both of these two teams do show a lot of promise in the competition. But do you think it's going to be a breadstick or all the way down to a match number 5 here, Jericho?
Probably a breadstick, and I picked GaijiN to win 3-1. I feel like M420 they might get that S&D unless Cisco finally steps up and bring out that sniper and hit those shots actually. But M420, the story is they upsetted VVV Esports, so that's not just any team, that is VVV. So I feel like they can actually take this away. They can even 3-1 GaijiN here, but so far this has to be the one I'm really looking out for.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Later on, to wrap up broadcast today, we will have match number 4, series number 4, Rampage going up against C8 United. That one's going to be a cracker as well. Off stream, we do have 2 series, M9 versus Triple V Esports, ALMGHTY taking on Tyrant Finesse, and we will keep you updated with the scores as we progress throughout the day.
Yes, and I believe the off-stream match 1 is going to start at the same time with this live matchup. We do have the GaijiN live. We have Riz, Casso, Mythil, Cisco, and Flash. And I mean, they played pretty well during the first day, but just wasn't on point. They just had a hard time on hitting what they need to do. But I feel like this is where the comeback begins. You already have that day 1. You already got it through. But this time, this is where you really have to step up and get that W.
Yeah, I feel like Sem9 really showed them a lot of kindness all throughout. It was quite, back and forth. But at firing range, that was where we saw Sem9 rise up to, their true name, their true capabilities. And GaijiN really suffered, man. They suffered a defeat at firing range hardpoint 150-33, and that was quite the shocker. So they really need to make up for that final match that they have ended the Garena Call of Duty Mobile Masters on. And as okay, wait, before we go there, Cisco's really making me hungry right now.
I mean, I am too hungry. And I mean, I want that chicken. If they could just pass it through, I think it'd be great. But, he has to drop that chicken, pick up that DLQ agent, hit those quick scopes because he hasn't been hitting any. And, I've been hyping him up all tournament long, and I need to see those Cisco montages in this tournament. But, it doesn't have to be flashy, but as long as he can hit it, that's what matters.
Yeah, he wants the SVD, bro. So let's see if or not he manages to put it to good use today against Bulano, Glow, Luffy, PJ, Raph, as well as Yobi. It's not gonna be an easy day at all. M420 Lowkings, they have already come in here upsetting Veni Vici Esports. Will they be able to do the same thing to GaijiN as well? A lot is riding here, and surprisingly to a lot of you guys out there, you guys were quite surprised to see the predictions earlier on. Lowkings, I'm actually betting on them.
You are betting on them, but I'm gonna go with the international boys. I know my boy Mythil and my boy Cisco. I think those guys, I think they're pretty ready here. But you know what? I just want to say, Bulalo, he's making me hungry. That's actually a dish here in the Philippines, AJ. So I think once you taste that one, I think you'll like that.
I cannot wait to taste all of the Filipino dishes. It just allow things to get better in the world. I'll be flying down to the Philippines to go out on a couple of real dates with you, man. I mean, I'm quite disappointed I'm spending Valentine's Day with you, not being able to hold your hands, Jericho. 18.33 versus 14.25. That's the average kills. Tell me.
okay. I mean, yes, I don't have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend. It's okay. Can't rub it in. Don't rub it into me anymore. But here is the head-to-head. Flash and Chloe, 18 and 14. That's going to be the matchup. KDA ratio of 1.08 and 1.10. Pretty close numbers, AJ. But it's going to come down to those other players. I know these guys are the head-to-heads, but you got to look at players like Kaso and Mythil making the plays for the team of GaijiN and for Bulalo and all the other players. I feel like everyone has to make an impact here, and I just heard something from one of the fans here. Actually read that Mythil has that girlfriend buff from Kiki, so I think that might play a part. Since it's Valentine's Day, a lot of these players, they spend their days with their loved ones. Maybe they want to prove something, just to have a great night of Valentine's Day.
Kiki, do you love me? He will be asking all night long, but whether or not he gets the answer depends on whether they can win this matchup against M420 Lowkings. They already have the Lady Luck smiling at them with the coin toss, and they ban Summit out of the mix. M420 Lowkings, what are they going to be taking out of the equation here? Is it going to be a crossfire, or they take out Hackney Yard instead?
All right. Well, I think the GaijiN pick with Summit is the one. Remember, they lost Summit in the first day, so they want to take that away. And Hackney Yard, Lowkings, I feel like that's one of their weakest maps. So here we go, GaijiN. They're going to be picking that first map. Let's see what it is. And oh my God, another takeoff back-to-back. Takeoff, is this real life? But okay, takeoff it is. And I mean, I don't really. It might be the same thing that might just happen to the doctors.
Now, I've got more confidence with GaijiN picking takeoff here, right? They are a sound team. They know exactly what they're doing. Ways of war, they smash it. They step on in here. They know exactly what sort of strategies to go out there and execute. In terms of the strategies, I'm not really doubting them too much, but I'm just curious as to how are they going to match up against each other when it comes to those mechanical plays, right? So that's really going to be deciding takeoff. But firing range, hardpoint, this is where GaijiN needs to run for cover, because M420 Lowkings clearly have done their research, clearly have done their homework, because this is where, and this is the exact same matchup where they got just trampled upon by Sem9, 150 to 33.
Yeah, 150 to 33. That's just horrendous. I mean, this is very, very unfortunate. But it's firing range is map 4, S&D on standoff, S&D on crossfire. I think this might be a good pick for Lowkings, but at the same time, this might where Cisco might just shine. With those sniper spots. I feel like this is where he's really gonna be at home here, especially in crossfire.
Yeah, I mean, Cisco better deliver today, man. I mean, if he doesn't deliver, then the only thing that he's going to get is a earful from the both of us, I'm very sure. Raid, S&D to wrap things up for match number 5 if we get there. And Standoff will be the domination map that neither one has gone in here to pick. But M420, since they lost the coin toss, they will be able to pick the side, and they want to start off at the Gorilla Squad. Purifier and Sparrow taken out of the equation here. A good ban on the Purifier. Quite honestly, after the Purifier buff came through, I no longer see the Annihilator as the operator of choice for a lot of the players out here, if at all both of those operators were still left in the mix, right? Especially when it comes to these maps where you really have to step out into the open and take some of these Annihilator kills. You're just going to get snuffed out either way. You get 1 or 2 kills, that's the best you can do. But with the Purifier, you sneak into those small little corners, especially when we're talking about hardpoint. It's quite a GG if you get to toast all of them out.
Yeah, it's quite a GG indeed, and but it might just come down to what we pointed out during that first series, and especially that game number 1. That game number 1 in takeoff, it's really going to set that tone. But again, positional gameplay. When are you going to rotate? When are you going to use those operators? And if you do get those streaks, how are you going to use them in a map covered in, just like in takeoff?
Oh, yeah, good questions, right, that you pose for both of these teams in here. Yopi will be able to open up the wheel cleanly early on. M420 Lowkings just making a beeline for that hard point straight up, not really playing a lot of those power positions. Halo dropping on back from the back, and he will be able to be the objective player that secures quite a lot of these points for the side of M420, but they have to continue hustling it up because the power position is exactly where they need to sneak themselves into first.
Yeah, they need to sneak it in, but we do see just slow points from both teams. Lowkings, they get the first 13, and GaijiN, 8. They do have the control at the moment, and they're winning most of their gunfights. Cisco finally brought out that SVD. That's going to be very, very huge for them. gaining that long range action, and the Lowkings starting off really flat here with the gunfights.
Yeah, they started things off and they threw all of their bodies in towards that hard point straight up. Once again, not really playing scaffolding, not playing the second floor of Aurora launch. And if they continue running through all of this, and you can see Riz, right? Riz is holding on to the scaffolding. Finally, Yopi tries to make a play for himself, but I don't think that was the scaffolding play. That was just purely for the rotation for the second hard point. And that just makes me second guess M420 Lowkings' ability to take the victory here at takeoff. But they run on in with the mechanical capabilities, now try to win a couple of their gunfights, but still very easily overcome by GaijiN.
Yeah, very easily overcome, 41-21, and the Lowkings right now struggling to get on, but Bulalo making a play on his own there. Not the best way to do it, but he did give time for his teammates to contest it as well, and we do see them finally stacking up the hill. Good plays from the Lowkings, but here comes GaijiN Flash, gonna be the first one in, and here comes Cisco as well. He's gonna get taken up, but Bulalo takes down 2. He is trying to make the plays for his teammates, but just more help from GaijiN, and the support from them is just going really well. But here comes the rotation, and Luffy here with the SVD might make a huge difference.
Yeah, let's see exactly what he will be able to pull off. Kalo from the back pulls out the Annihilator, does not spot anyone at all, but he's on standby. He wants to keep this place on lockdown because the early rotations from the rest of his team members already, they are counting on this to be their money hill. And as you can see, one player in the name of Luffy holding on to control room, the next hard point, so early on because he wants to secure the spawns, but that's not the spot you secure it from, my friend. And finally he steps on out to the point, plays his objective to the T, whilst the rest of his team members fight for their lives at this hard point. Midhill, how is he going to be able to get this crack? Operator for the Annihilator in hand, but it's not going to be the best operator to pull out in such a tight corner.
Yeah, it's not the best operator. This is where the Purifier might just shine, but you gotta use what you have. You know, you have the Equalizer, you also have the Gravity Vortex ready at your disposal, and that's just the bad thing about the Annihilator. But we do see 60-61, you know, slow start from Lowkings, but finally they managed to make the comeback here. Casso brings out the Annihilator, unfortunately does not get one kill there. 5 seconds left. Rotation kills are going to be huge here, but we do see GaijiN already at the new one.
I don't think it's a bad idea to bring the Annihilator into takeoff. What matters is where you play the Annihilator, right? You cannot be playing it in such tight corners. If you want to be playing it in the hard point itself as the objective player, you should be bringing in the Gravity Vortex instead, because that is a huge game changer for you, and it will be able to help you break those hills and keep those hills for quite a long time. Casso now with the backstab tries to take down the sentry gun first, will be able to do exactly that, bumps the Thumper out, and will be able to compete with them for the hard point for just a little bit. And M420 Lowkings on the other hand, running away with the point so far, 88-64, finally has to now throw in the numbers, but they hold on to generators, so they have got the distance in there, but if they can flip it out, it will serve them better.
It will serve them better indeed, but this game is just getting closer and closer. 88-75. GaijiN's gonna get that last scrap time, but huge kills coming in from Lowkings. Even if they got that one, it didn't matter. They do have that last scrap time, and it's gonna reset now. 20-point lead for the side of Lowkings, and things are looking good for them. But GaijiN, they can still try to make the comeback. Cisco with that SVD can be very useful. Unfortunately, does not get those streaks, but look at PJ. He has that cluster strike. When is he going to use that? Unfortunately, he brings out another Annihilator, and this is why the Annihilator and this map is not really the best way to use it. You know, at least they should have just switched over to the Gravity Vortex.
Yeah. See, the way Riz uses it out here in the open, that's exactly how it will be able to pay dividends for your side, right? But it doesn't really matter now as M420 Lowkings brings out the cluster strike, which is absolutely useless. It only prevents GaijiN from picking up points. None of their players playing that objective. A little bit of breakdown in communication coming through in here as well. Here's where you spot the weakness of M420 Lowkings, and it's still not enough, but they are in front, and that's what's important. PJ brings out the Annihilator once again, holding on to scaffolding, a good spot to hold on to, but the tight angles allows Riz to jump on and shut it down. Bulalo taken down as well, and he will continue all of his run throughout, and Riz has got a little bit of backup in there. But M420 Lowkings, as all of these skirmishes are going on outside, they're picking up the points quietly.
Yeah, they pick up the coins quietly. It's been working out for them. You know, they let GaijiN stay at 81. M420 just a little bit more points here. Finally brings out that Dragonfire. Not the best streak, in my opinion, to pull it out at the moment, but he does get all that information. He's also going to get taken out, but Mythil now inside the hill here, trying to make a play for his team here, just holding it down. They're about to reach a 100-point mark, but here comes the Lowkings. They're going to make that one good push, because one push, they can actually seal the deal with that push.
Yeah, there's no UAV, no persistence. Dragonfire, here we come. What else can you throw in there, right? 128 to 97, M420 Lowkings now just holding on to the hard point as they try to fight tooth and nail. The players of GaijiN not able to step onto the hard point. Like we talked about earlier on, GaijiN was really focusing on a lot of these gunfights, but not really picking up the points. M420 Lowkings, on the other hand, just continuously sneaking on in there. Final 5 seconds, challenge comes through. They break the hill, but M420, they do not need to contest this anymore. They have to go in there for the early rotation, but the gods of RNG throw them into the visitor center in terms of the spawn, and they will have to force a fight at the very end as well. But that was a wrong decision. They should have taken over the spawn and generators first before they moved on in, and so they are going to be on the back foot at the start of Aurora launch.
Yeah, and this is the biggest gunfights here. Actually, Chloe already inside the hill. 2 more seconds. Anyone there to contest? 1 second left, and they get that one. But Luffy takes him out, gets the win. 150 to 108. And M420 Lowkings getting that game number 1 in. Very, very. I mean, I would say convincing, but they held it down there. After that second reset of the hills,
yeah,
they managed to get all those points that they need, winning most of the gunfights. And I like what I'm seeing from the Lowkings.
I love what I'm seeing from the Lowkings. Once again, we have to stress that this is not an easy map to master. And the Filipinos are just proving all that we have been talking about, you know, from the start of the day. All right, the Philippines has just taken Call of Duty Mobile Pro scene up. The competition in here is just on a whole other level. MYSE needs to really hustle to keep up with them. And GaijiN, although they had, like, you know, the best of opportunities in there to play the game in a good way, because initially M420, it was surprising, right? Because they were just throwing in the numbers into its fountain, not really playing the power positions for themselves at all, not really taking advantage. But towards the end, you saw them double back and start playing those power positions instead. And the exact opposite was the case for GaijiN. GaijiN initially played the map to the T as to how it's supposed to be played, but they got caught up in all of those gunfights. They started going out there hunting for kills, and that's the best way to lose a hardpoint match.
Yeah, that's the best way to lose a hardpoint match. But I mean, if you look at the stats here, AJ, PJ 35 and 20. He is doing a lot. He's everywhere in the map, winning all those gunfights. And for the side of GaijiN, I mean, you have Riz and Cisco 14 and 15. They're still not cutting them up. They need to get more gunfights there. It really came down to mechanical supremacy there, KJ, because we've been scrolling through so many players bring out their annihilators, and it's just always them running around and getting taken out.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against Cisco at this point just yet. The positions that he was holding on to were not the best of spots, and bringing in the SVD into this map, although the SVD has got a great rate of fire, right? 1 shot, 1 kill, but he just manages to bag such little numbers in comparison to even the lowest fragger of M420. That really needs to be something that he sits and thinks about whether or not is going to be the best option for him throughout this series, right? Because he can pull that off again at Domination. Standoff, the SVD will make a huge difference at Standoff for sure. I mean, depending on whichever side that they're holding on to, right? Be it at Bakery second floor or Granny's second floor, it's still going to be paying your team dividends. But over at Crossfire, it's something that you really just need to take 2 steps back from and really assess exactly how you've been, approaching this match. Because if that SVD does not hit as hard in the Domination matchup as well, then GaijiN's really going to get back in.
Yeah, I mean, that hardpoint was just really tough to see because they hanged at the start. And then, like what you said, to point out, the Cisco's positioning, it wasn't the best, but I knew what he wanted to do. But the amount of pressure that M420 Lowkings was putting in was just so much. You see all the arrows everywhere, always picking up the lanes that they need. And I feel like, that was the one that really costed them. But now it's time for S&D and Crossfire. GaijiN versus M420 Lowkings. And this is where where they need to shine. Unless Lowkings, they're just going to play on a pace that the GaijiN can't even hang.
Let's see what the setup is, because it is an early defense in towards aggressive defense, I have to say, in towards bus station. You don't see this a lot. Oh my lord, the positioning of that crosshair just off by a couple of millimeters, and Kalo punishes him. PJ tries to get the snap into Riz. Information gets sent back. Yopi takes Riz out of the occasion with the CBR, finishes him off with whatever HP he had left. Mithil will be able to try to down the numbers as he shuts down Kalo, but it's still a numbers advantage for the players of M420 Lowkings. And now the bomb site is open, except for Cisco. Cisco just really needs to find these angles to stop that bomb plant now.
Yeah, he just needs to find the bomb plant here. He is in a very good angle, hitting those wall bangs, does spot a trophy, so he's gonna get the information. But look at Mithil on your screen, very far away from Cisco, and that's gonna be another player. Raf is gonna be on that top, broken in P2. He's gonna take out Mithil, 1 versus 3. Cisco, last player alive. Let's see if he can make the play here. They know where he is. He spots 2 players, still nothing hitting. And now he's just going to be in a sniper battle against 1 player from Lowkings. But this should be a round for M420.
Yeah, unless Cisco can just do something absolutely crazy here, right? I like the fact that he has switched out the SVD for the DLQ now. Much better weapon for those quick scopes, but he puts himself in trouble, and Luffy gets the quick one on him instead. Sniper v Sniper battle. Cisco bags the loss on the very first one. Will he be able to step it up? GaijiN most definitely needs him to in a search and destroy.
Yes, they need to step it up. You know, I feel like maybe try letting Cisco make a play first instead of going for that aggressive push again for the side of GaijiN. And now I like it. They're slowing things down, letting the snipers do the thing. And now we do see GaijiN having such a set play here. But look at Lowkings as well, slowing things down. They just adjusted to the pace as well. And I like this from both teams, just adjusting things over and over again. This is what you have to do in S&D. You can't do the same thing over and over. You really have to adjust mid-game. And if you don't adjust, you're just going to lose the game.
Agreed. No, and you know, the position that Mithil held on to super aggressive earlier on is a position that I most definitely agree with. You catch your opponents off by surprise when you're on the defensive, but unfortunately for him, M420 Lowkings just read that play. They knew that they were going to see an aggressive side of GaijiN, or at the very least they anticipated it, and they played the counterplay even without having that information, right? That's what's so impressive about M420 at this point. Cisco manages to bag Luffy. He trades him out to get the numbers right back equal. But now the position of Cisco has been revealed already. The players now, they are going to be able to sustain for the time being as they hold on to the corner of central building. Mithil trying to pull this backstab on. Is he going to be able to find PJ? PJ's holding that corner with the KRM. Gets the hit mark as well, but not over-aggressing from his position. Thumper comes flying out, but PJ's patience bags in Mithil.
There we go. Cisco finally hit that quick scope. 3 versus 3. Spots another player. That's going to be information, but it took too much time for that retake. AJ and Lowkings, they had the proper setup. They have all angles covered. They had a player on bomb, had a player at top, the second floor medical, and also had that broken. And that was just a perfect setup for them. But, you know, finally Cisco getting that kill. I feel like that might just change things. He's going to be really, really hot now starting from here. And hopefully they get around.
Cisco now positioning is key. One for the snipe. Goes in for the quick slide behind the counter. Luffy, on the other hand, spots 1 player out. Oh my lord, Casso is just standing there out in the open. Luffy takes that very easily. PJ finds Riz. Cisco down as well as Luffy bags the second one. This is just turning out to be a painful one to watch as GaijiN bite those bullets hard.
Wow, that was a fast round, and GaijiN just really, really struggling now. I mean, I don't really expect that from players such as Mithil and Flash and Casa, because we've seen them in major tournaments. They've beaten top teams, AJ, and so far they are regressing from their skill level is not really up there right now.
But, you know, it's against M420 Lowkings. Once again,
Yep,
it's just something that I kind of expected because it's the Philippines, yeah. It's the Philippines. There's CBR. Can he get the flick on towards the left? Cisco will be able to strike hard, thankfully, for the guy. GaijiN most definitely needs him to turn on. Luffy holding on to central building. Cisco, is he going to be able to find him? Perhaps with a wall back. Can he catch him off guard? Luffy just tries to outplay Cisco and will be able to bag Castle from my lord, Luffy! Don't do that, man. It's illegal.
Well, I mean...
GG.
I only have one word. It's the Philippines. That's it. I mean, you said it already.
Can't say one word and then bring in a sentence.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But 4-0, things are looking pretty good for them. And if you're a GaijiN, no adjustment whatsoever. The Lowkings pushing through Cisco. Look how aggressive they are. And PJ with the shotgun takes down one, takes down two. Kenny making a 3-piece meal. And he barely sees him, but he gets taken out. So 3 versus 2 actually. Mad advantage goes to the side of GaijiN. Bomb is down on the site. Caso in the middle as well. And this could be a round for them unless the miraculous play from Raph and Luffy can make another round for them.
I mean, it's just a matter of time before the aggressive plays of M420 Lowkings kind of just catch themselves off guard, right? Luffy now, quick scope's not going to be able to hit. Yes, the thumper. Raph! Come on, bro. Don't wallbang people in that way. He didn't even wallbang it, as a matter of fact. He caught the elbow of Riz and shut him down. That's just mean. It's a 2v2 now. And GaijiN, they have to struggle to find their momentum right back in here on the defensive. They are just trying to prevent the bomb plant coming through. Caso, together with Mythil. This is the deadly duo you do not want to take the fight up against, but M420 Lowkings making them look like chumps in this S&D.
Yeah, making them look like chumps indeed. 4-0. And that's such a huge kill by Raph. It just, equalizes things here. And now, Caso with the nade. Is there a trophy? Hopefully there's no trophy, but the nade comes through. And, almost takes him out of the hit marker, though. But that's information for them. Raph gonna be the corner. Misses that shotgun, but finally hits him with the second one. And just like that, another start by Luffy. 5-0. What is happening to you, GaijiN?
M420 Lowkings, what's happening? I got one word. Philippines! What's happening? GG, man. I mean, dude, being a player from SGMY, I can tell you, this hurts, all right? This hurts to watch because even when I step out there for any ranked matches and I see Filipinos out there in the battlefield, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I'm ready to lose already now. I'm ready to lose. And there's just regular ranked matches, right? And these guys, they are together, on a daily hustle, going in there on that grind, mastering map up the map, making sure they sharpen their mechanical skills. And now, on that 6th round for that victory, they put themselves in a 4v1. Mythil holding onto a corner, playing campy because that's the only strat he can double back to. But the 3 players from the side of M420 Lowkings, they hunt, and Rui, he gets that final snipe. 6-0, they shut down GaijiN.
I mean, that's it. I mean, Philippines. That's all I could say. They just got smacked left and right, smack dab in the middle, and that's gonna be a 6-0 for M420. And AJ, it's smelling like it's gonna be another donut, and you're gonna take the lead in the predictions.
Hey man, but hey, it's GaijiN, bro. It's GaijiN, and it's just a matter of time before Cisco gets pissed off. Because you see, here's the problem, right? Here's the pressure of being a content creator and then becoming a pro player. A lot of expectations from the people around you. So it's just a matter of time before it's going to get to Cisco's head where he just feels pressured that he needs to step up for the team. And it just looks like he was able to do that in a way, but 5 kills going up against a team that was just so dominant with all of their positioning. You cannot just purely depend on Cisco to get those snipes. Everybody needs to step up in their own manner, which they did. But, they just need to be able to deliver in a much more, confident fashion. And I feel like the pressure that Cisco will have on him starting from this point onwards will force that performance out of them. I'm anticipating GaijiN, to be able to, at the very least, pull back this domination matchup and still keep things alive for themselves. If they don't, somebody's gonna get a scolding tonight.
Yeah, most definitely someone's gonna get that
Remember
scolding.
the girlfriend buff, bro.
Oh my god, yeah. At the same time, I don't know if it's working out for them, but just take a look at the score. 108 to 150. That's great. I mean, that's really great. It was a close game, a little bit of mistakes there, but once it came over to that S&D, that's when things started to look a little bit cuckoo. 6-0. It's the second 6-0 today, AJ.
I have no words for this particular series so far in terms of that search and destroy. Let's talk about Takeoff. Takeoff was a good place. Takeoff is a good place where, we did see the part of GaijiN really fight it back, but it just came down to a couple of unfortunate mistakes, right? When we talk about S&D Crossfire, what can you say, man? GaijiN, they tried many different approaches to this match, right? It's not like they just were a one-trick pony where they were just going in there with the exact same strat again and again and again, bashing their heads in through the wall and just not succeeding. No, they switched it up. They try to be aggressive. They try to be passive. They try to slow it down, play full-on defensive.
Just didn't work.
Nothing went their way. Just like that.
They went aggressive, they went super aggressive, they went super duper aggressive, they went ultra aggressive, and then they still got 6-0. This is unfortunate, but now it's domination. We've seen that, if you win a domination, you can win the whole series, but here we go. Domination and standoff. GaijiN they're trying to get at least one game, not to get 3-0'd, but we do see here Cisco without Holger. He's been struggling with the gun throughout. He's gonna get taken out. That's going to be 3 down for the side of GaijiN, and that just might be the opening for M420. Luffy again with the SVD.
I need Cisco to bring out his SVD here, man. Never mind. Let's leave Cisco with the Cisco plays, but I hope I see him pop that SVD out, because he needs to take that out to play that pressure onto that B flag, as well as to the opposition that sits down at the second floor of Bakery, right? Because Rap as well as Luffy, they are going to be playing a lot of pressure. And look at Luffy just blaze on through with the SVD. SVD for, respawns, it really depends on which map you bring it on into. It really depends on those angles that you hold on to. And the position that he has on with right now, the SVD is going to be giving him a lot of advantage.
Yeah, a lot of advantage indeed, and especially if your teammates are all over the map, applying a lot of pressure. If they don't finish the kills, that's where Luffy comes in. And now we do see one more second, but we do see GaijiN actually gonna try to get that B-bomb. A thumper might come through here, but look at that. M420 Lowkings struggling right now. They lose that B flag, but Raph gets a triple kill. Make that 4 quadra inbound. Huge kills by Raph, and just like that, that stops the B flag from the side of GaijiN. And Raph wanting some more kills here, 5 kills in a row, working towards those streaks. But look at the spawns. It's flipped over at gas station. It's a free A cap. If Rap hops on that, he can actually make that distraction and let M420 grab B.
Oh, it's a good play coming through from GaijiN finally in this series, and this is what we anticipated out of them, right? For them to really hustle up and keep this alive. They are delivering on that request, but as you said, there is a potential here for that spawn flip, which they managed very, very quickly. Cisco immediately jumps back on to that point. He knows he has to hold on to the spawn and hold on to his home flag as well. Riz will be able to deliver on that backup, and they get that shutdown. Holding on to that A flag is completed, but now the teaser at that C flag is executed by Caso, and that buys the rest of the team members a little bit more of leeway to go in there for the capture of that second flag throughout this match. And that the B flag just being teased by these players now, finally taken into the bag, and GaijiN is right back in this matchup.
Yeah, GaijiN right back indeed, 43-43. Now we do see Lowkings here, Lowkings struggling a bit here actually. They are getting some kills here, but they're just getting taken out back and forth, and they're just hopping on the flag one by one. And I think I'm seeing the cracks here from Lowkings, which is domination. Individual plays are coming through again, not working as a team, and it might just cost them, but still a close game, 53-48. This is where GaijiN is shining. Every time they're down by 2, we do see them trying to make a comeback, and so far things are working out for them. But Cisco stuck in a 1v2 at the back. He's gonna take down one. Can he take down the second one? Yes, he can. And there we go. This is the Cisco we need, making the place 63-52 this first half, going through the side of GaijiN.
Yeah, it's exactly what he needed, man. Just the pressure from his fans, because the guy needs to deliver. That's the unfortunate life of a content creator. You go out there, you've got a bunch of fans now. They want to see you perform at your very best. And that is exactly what's pushing Cisco out there on the battlefield right now. And he is able to make sure his team is in front. The rest of them step up as well. And up to that 75-point mark, GaijiN will be able to get first. And it's the exact opposite, a mirror image, 57 for the side of M420 Lowkings, which only means they're not too far away.
Not too far away indeed. 75-57, very close at the moment. No one has streaks yet, but we do see all the players loading up their annihilators, loading up their operator skills, and this is where it's going to be very useful. Are you going to use it on your first live just to get some kills here? But PJ, gotta start things off with a name. Luffy takes down 3. Caso finally gets 1, but that's going to be an easy cap for the side of Lowkings. You see the blue dots all spotting out, 2 players flanking as well, but Flash is there for the flank. He's going to take down 3 players in a row, and just like that, B is captured by Lowkings, but it's going to stop the push, and here comes GaijiN.
PJ needs to play the distraction at that B flag, but then Flash is there for the central as well. Smart plays coming through. M420 Lowkings, they were able to prevent that B flag takeover, and on the way right back into this matchup now they are aiming for, and here comes that Hunter Killer drone, just going to be able to give the, oh no! Casso, what a play, man. Sorry, not Casso. That was the other player who manages to dodge away from that Hunter Killer drone very quickly. Cisco activating his Annihilator. He wants to make a huge play in here as well, and the B flag will go right back into the hands of GaijiN. M420 Lowkings annihilates them, preventing that B flag capture, and now clearing off the markers as well. This is just the kind of pressure that M420 needs to keep up if they want to make it back in here and also run away with the series.
Yeah, runaway indeed, but I like the adjustment. You know, the first half, they had individual plays, but here in the second half, they started working as a team, you know, pushing in together, speaking together, using your utils at the same time. Annihilator plays also coming out, and for the side of GaijiN, they burned 2 Annihilators there, not even getting a single shot off. And now GaijiN struggling to make the play here. But here comes Mythil at the back. They're going to be hopping on that A flag. Overextension is through. And this is the choice of Lowkings. Are we going to go back to A, or are we going to go overextended C? The answer is overextend to C. And this just might be a trip cap for them in the making. But look at GaijiN pushing through again from the back.
Yeah, smart plays. Luffy just holding on to his spot, but the thumper doesn't work. Oh, doesn't get punished for it. Will be able to play it yet again with the SVD holding down to his spot, but his opponent already onto that second floor. Flash now jumps on right down. Luffy repositions himself, but to that disadvantage as he gets spotted out way too easily. And now, is this going to be that triple cap that you were talking about? That C flag teased on, but the prevention comes through at the very final second, and a good play out of GaijiN overall, but they are losing track of the points. 125 to 110, 15 points between them, but the flag needs to be captured right now if they want to stay alive.
Yeah, they need to capture once that hits at 133, it should be a GG. And so far, everything's not working out for GaijiN. They started off really strong, but now in that second half, once Lowkings unlocked their new strategy of actually working together as a team, they can't do anything. Look at them. They're just flying now to A, trying to make the play, but PJ's shutting them down one by one. No gunfights being won by the side of GaijiN. AJ, I'm going to call it. It's going to be a donut 3-0. Yeah. Another 3-0, third for the day.
Yeah, the only way GaijiN now can... My lord. Sorry, I feel bad for you, Casso. That
just got turned on.
It's not even a wall bang. It's a plate bang. And it's just Call of Duty mobile things, man. 150, 120. They finished off with a triple cap. That is the supremacy of M420 Lowkings.
Just a sad day today. Just a sad day. It's a great
Depends
day
on
for
who you support, my friend.
I mean, yeah, but it's also a sad day. It's supposed to be for love. It's supposed to be game 5s, but we all get donuts, and I guess we just gotta go with it. But Lowkings, they are proving to be a tough team in their group. You know, beating VVV day 1 and then beating GaijiN. I mean, things are looking good for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, 3-0, this is exactly how M420 Lowkings wanted it. It's exactly how they were able to finish things off. But was it something that they thought was going to be easy? Absolutely not, right? They showed their opponents a lot of respect all throughout the series, except for the Search and Destroy in a couple of rounds where they overextended. But once they were punished for that overextension, they immediately doubled back and they focused on their strategies once again. And we need to pay attention, and we also need to give them a lot of props for the adjustments they brought through in that second half. And I agree with you, Jericho. First half, it was just mainly individual plays coming out of the players of Lowkings. But M420, they stepped it up in that second half, man. Playing together as one core unit all throughout, you know, attacking those flags all at the same time. Once they set their minds to do exactly that, GaijiN had no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, GaijiN had no chance. Once they really worked together as a team, I saw it from the dots. They started pushing together. They started using their teammates as bait and actually getting those trades. It really just came down to that one. They didn't actually overextend and get those kills. And GaijiN, one by one, they went to back alley. One by one, they went to grannies, and they kept on losing gunfights one by one as well, not using anything that they had at their disposal, and it just kept on snowballing until it reached the 150 point mark.
Yeah, but here's the thing, through this competition, something that a lot of the other teams can perhaps, it's just food for thought for them, right? The fact that Cisco is on the side of GaijiN this time around, you can have an import player on your side as long as the majority of players are from that specific country that it represents, right? So, and that's exactly how Cisco is able to hang on with the best here. Maybe when the transfer windows open, this might just open up a little bit more space for some of the Filipino players to get an opportunity to play with their SGMY brothers as well, be able to make quite a good living. As you know, it's good that the currency is slightly more powerful on the Singaporean side, right? So if you get drafted, if you show that you can bring on a lot of quality and get signed on with a Singaporean team just to help them bolster some of their tenacity out there on the battlefield, it's just yet another thing that the pro players can look forward to.
Yeah, that's something that's an opening. I could speak from experience. I got picked up by an international team. Two Malaysians, two Singaporeans. I was only Filipino, and it paid well. So I feel like that's a good opportunity for all these Filipinos. Like just like Cisco, he's the one starting that platform for diversity in the team. AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And at the very least, when the Philippines steps on out there, right? Because we have also seen ALMGHTY absorbing Jeff Pro into the squad together with Alip, I believe. And that's the kind of adjustments that we want to see. And I guess the kind of adjustments some of the other teams don't want to see when ALMGHTY is concerned, because ALMGHTY were already supreme before those acquisitions, and now with a stellar player like Jeff Pro on their side, they are just going to be able to bring things up to a whole new level. I mean, the pro scene for Call of Duty Mobile most definitely reaching new heights in 2022.
Yes, the pros are just really reaching out to new heights indeed, AJ. And not only that, the tournament's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is it's only February. We already have the Mobile Masters, and we don't know what else Garena has in store for us. Just a great platform for everyone, and I'm excited to see more players actually join the fray.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, an M420 Lowkings at the start of things, it wasn't like they fell back very far, but they allowed GaijiN to catch up with them, and this, or to at the very least, just stay toe-to-toe with them in a domination matchup, which they didn't really feel comfortable with, because after such a dominating performance over at Hardpoint as well as Search and Destroy, that most definitely would have been putting them on notice, right? Cisco stepped up, he brought out the Holger, he put away his SVD, but I didn't want to see that from him, because he shines. He shines on the SVD. It wasn't really the best of positions for him to be holding on to earlier. But this time around, with the position that he was holding on to, the SVD would have definitely paid dividends. But even without that, the Holger most definitely shined through for the player. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, as all he did was pay attention to that one small flag capture. The soldier of the game, none other than PJ. He definitely, from the start of the series, has been doing so much, Jericho.
Yeah, they are just doing great as a team. I mean, I'd give the soldiers of the game for the whole team, but PJ, 22 and 13, 1.65 KDA. Man's on a mission. I mean, he definitely wants to win, and I like what I'm seeing from the Lowkings. I can definitely see them, being the same level as Aguila Esports and C8 Legacy, AJ. Just that in a very small org at the moment, but the way that their players are grinding every day, working their way up, it's just really great to see. And I hopefully they make it to the playoffs, because if they do, they're going to be knocking out a lot of top teams in this group stage.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I cannot wait to see exactly how this competition will continue. And the craziest part is it's double round robin for the group stages, so they all have a second chance coming through. And by the way, a quick update before we go off for a break: Sem9 versus Triple V. At the moment, the score is 2-1, Sem9 in front. The question is, can they wrap things up by the time we jump on right back in after the break? We'll keep you updated. After 5 minutes, we'll catch you for series number 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Garena CODM Masters. I am VV Jericho here, down with the great Mustacio AJ, and we just had 3 consecutive donuts in a row on Valentine's Day. Pretty sad day for some of those players, but we still have one more match. Will it break the curse? Will it give us a breadstick, or will it give us a number 2? It's looking like, I hate to say it, but it just might be another 3-0.
And to be fair, you know, some guys think it's absolutely fine to give, you know, a box of donuts for Valentine's Day. So I feel like the day is going on just the way it should.
I mean, my nose says no. I mean, I'm getting a lot of sneezes already from this 3-0s.
I mean,
God.
you know, the final one that we have in here is Rampage going up against C8 United. Who do you think is going to get the 3? And who do you think is going to get the go? That's my question.
I'm sorry to Maggie. I gotta go with Rampage just because I was there before, and I've seen them play. They had to go up against ALMGHTY, and you know that's not an easy match. But
Yeah,
you know they're still a top team in Malaysia, and they're a force to be reckoned with. So I feel like they are gonna get this 3-0 against United. But United at the same time been rising up to the ranks here in the local scenes in the Philippines, and like you said, it's the Philippines. And you can never count them out, just like what Lowkings did. And this is the schedule for today, guys. We started off with Blacklist, getting a 3-0 against Nervo, C8 Legacy getting another 3-0, and then Lowkings handing another 3-0 against GaijiN. And now we're going to cast Rampage and United. But down there at the Offstream, which we did not have it on live, Sem9 versus VVV, 2-2. It's going to be game number 5.
Oh, that one would have been a super fantabulous matchup for us to witness. But unfortunately, you know, we cannot cram in all of the series into this one broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It will, you know, then span on way too long. So hopefully we will be able to see a little bit more of them in day number 3. But going back to Rampage versus C8 United, you made your bet. You think Rampage is going to be able to get that 3-0? Maggie, Yang, Chen. I think C8 United is going to be able to get it. 3-0, the exact same prediction, just the other way round. Is this going to be possible? Will Rampage be able to prove Jericho right and the Mustachio wrong by putting on the biggest fight of their lives here to make sure they will be able to bag this squad? C8 United, XFI, Sage, Ron, Riz, Swoy, as well as Fluffy jumping on in to make sure they bring that C8 brand all the way up to the top.
I actually know some of these players personally. XFI and Sage, I've actually coached them before, so they got some Coach J plays there. So hopefully it will work up against Rampage. But you know, these boys, they had a re-roster coming through. They gave up Error and all the other players, and they kept the core of XFI, Sage, and Ron. So I believe with that core 3 leading the charge, I think they can put up a fight against Rampage Gaming.
Yeah, Dwai. you know, I just wonder what is he listening to on his headphones there during this photo shoot. But maybe we will get the opportunity to interview some of these players when they get up to the playoff stage. If they get up to the playoff stage, will they be able to take down Rampage? Because C8 United, by the way Riz is cracking his knuckles, it looks like these boys are absolutely ready to kick it. We are going to be seeing the lineup of Rampage as well. Let's see exactly what the Malaysians are able to front on in here to take on the squad of C8 United. It will be the lineup of MIB, Psycho, Zareb, Azmal, Nochi, as well as Speed stepping up for the Malaysian side.
I mean, we've known MIB, we've known Zareb, we know Nochi and Speed in the scene for so long, but Psycho and Azmal pretty new to the scene. You know, I've played with Azmal during our competitive console days, so he has great game sense. So I feel like being the young one in the team and as well as having great game sense, it's gonna really help the team here with MIB being that captain as well. The IGL, they can do a lot of noises here. You know, unfortunately, they did lose that first matchup against ALMGHTY, but going up against C8 United, I think it's a pretty balanced match, and this could really possibly go to a game number 5, AJ.
Let's see if or not it does get dragged out that long. And of course, what we are curious about is exactly who will Lady Luck look at and smile as they win that coin toss. They will be able to dictate the pace of this matchup, choose the maps. But clearly from what we have seen in here today, just winning the coin toss is not enough, because sometimes people just end up choosing the worst maps for themselves to play.
Yeah, it might just be that map banning picks. That's really going to change the whole scene. But before we get into that, AJ, head-to-head, we have Speed versus Riz. 18 kills for Speed and 14 for Riz. Negative KD, though, for Speed, and a 1.45 by Riz. So very, very distinctive numbers here, AJ. And hopefully that number from Speed goes up, or it might just keep on going down.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, that's the risk that we face on in here, right? And with the KD that Speed has on here against C8, let's see if or not they will be able to not just have it maintain, but in fact increase and show us that they are able to take on a matchup against the Filipinos and show that the mechanical capabilities of the Malaysian side is just so much more supreme. Will that happen? Is that going to be a possibility, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We will have to wait and see. For the time being, it is going to be the maps and modes, the bans and picks, and Rampage. The Malaysians have won the coin toss. Lady Luck looks at them and smiles, but can they take that luck and run it all the way through to a victory as well? The first map to be banned here, I think it's going to be Takeoff.
Should be.
Worst case scenario, Hackney Yard. But to our surprise, it might even be Summit, man. I mean, one-sided maps, you know the mechanical capabilities of the Filipinos. Rampage might not want to deal with that.
Yeah, I feel like that could also be a thing, or they could just ban a map like Raid and not even play on that map as well. So, you know, we've seen a lot of, I wouldn't say weird bans, but bans that you wouldn't really expect from these teams now. And now let's see what's going to be that first ban. Rampage, again, winning that coin toss. What will be the ban? And Crossfire is going to be banned. Okay, so Crossfire out of this mix, and Summit, and actually United doing a favor for Rampage, banning that Summit. Yeah. So we're going to definitely see Hackney Yard and Takeoff in the rotation. Hardpoint, first map. What will Rampage pick? And another Takeoff, 3 in a row. What is happening in Valentine's Day?
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But I wish them. So I wish them the best, bro. I wish them the best. I mean, I really want this to go the Malaysian side. Why? Because I'm Malaysian, man. I just want them to go out there and win, okay? But against C8 United, it's gonna be quite the challenge, because I've seen these guys in plays before. We've seen their rotations. We've seen their mastery of Takeoff as well. And it's gonna be a challenge for sure. But Rampage, they have got something that C8 United does not have. And that is the amount of time and years they have spent with each other as a squad. You know, just going in there and perfecting their chemistry. Firing range hardpoint is the response of C8 United, and they'll be bringing us into SND at Raid as well. More, you know, practical setups coming through from the C8 United side. Not really getting overexcited with the map picks.
Not really overexcited indeed. Raid, Standoff, Firing Range, Hackney Yard. Maps are not really... I think the biggest one here is Raid S&D for me. I feel like C8 United, they have some plays up their sleeve here that might just shock Rampage, but it depends if Zarif can hit those snipe shots, cutting them off and stopping the play on defense. But Rampage picking defense actually at the start, and that's what they need. They want C8 to be very aggressive here, but they are going to be very, very good with the sniper. So I feel like it might be a good thing for them with Raid.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, I just want it to turn out right for them. Purifier being banned out in here just shows us exactly how well these teams have already gone out there and been toasted by that Purifier so many times that they don't want to see any of it in these matchups, right? But taking the Annihilator out of the equation and keeping the Sparrow in is something that C8 United just is really smart about, because the Annihilator, I just don't like it in comparison. If you give me the Annihilator or the Sparrow, it's just going to be Sparrow, right? It's just that my own mechanical gameplays that forces me to kill myself with a Sparrow that sometimes prevents me from going for it. But, the Annihilator just very slowly starting to become one operator skill. It's just not the most favorite anymore.
It's not working out. I think it depends on the map. I haven't really said that much for the operator skills, but I feel like every time I've seen Takeoff and people are using the Annihilator, I always just see them. They pull it out, they do their animation, and then the next thing you know, they're in the next life. So I mean it's pretty useless in Takeoff, unless you're players like C87 who are at the back of the map and just getting those long range engagements.
Yeah.
But I would suggest using the equalizer or even the gravity vortex. If you die there, if you pop, let's say if you're using the vortex, you pop those 2 orbs and you die, it still does damage and it still actually helps your team.
Correct. And, in a game mode like Hardpoint or Domination, it's going to be super duper, assisting if you are not going to be able to stand there anymore and guard the point, but you've still got your gravity vortex up, right? And you just bring it out for the pop when you're running down in the numbers in there for the guarding, and you want to be able to buy a little bit more time for the rest of your team members to come in there and back you up. ALMGHTY, the first one in here for the side of C8, right on that hard point. They just want to play it straightforward, not really jumping on to these power positions. Once again, just like their brothers earlier on, C8 Legacy.
Yeah, C8 Legacy starting things off with a 6-0, and we also see them already on the power positions that they have to be ALMGHTY also on the hill. And Rampage starting off really slow, not winning those initial gunfights. They're working towards that P2 on that scaffolding, trying to get some power position gameplay coming through, but Zarif hitting the flank as well. They managed to get the first wave down, but here comes C8 at the back, also contesting the hill and just winning those gunfights. Finally reaching that 20-point mark. So far, things are looking well for C8.
It's a very interesting setup coming through from C8, not really contesting for the scaffolding at all. And finally, they do go in there for the contest on scaffold, but it is not for the reasons you think, right? It's not going to be for the first hard point, but it's an early setup, and the capture of that spawn out of the visitor center, that is what they are aiming for. And C8 United, they are playing this map now to the T, and they'll send Sage in to protect Crane area to make sure the rest of his team members just keep spawning out of there. We can see MIB stepping on in to shut down that spawn, but that's not going to be possible. He needs some backup from the rest of his teammates, and they need to play some utilities. You need to have a concussion or a smoke out there to be able to get on in and shut down the play. C8 playing this to perfection right now.
Yeah, C8 playing this to perfection indeed, but Rampage finally managed to make the comeback. And here we go. They get that final 30 seconds here. MIB being that first guy, getting that double kill, very huge kill for them. And if you're C8, this is a risk. Are you gonna go for this final 20, or are you gonna just go for that rotation, try to get that whole 60 already? I know it's only early in the game, but those are some decisions that might really cost you long term.
Yeah, but going in for the second point here, if you die, your worst case scenario is you spawn out near generators or gas tank area, which is quite the easy access into the third hard point. So 20 seconds, most definitely a go for the contest. They do it, and they will be able to pick up a few scrap points. Very important when their opponents are already so far in front of you, where they've got a 20-point lead. And now one player in here for the side of C8 United, and even he gets shut down. The spawn is not going to be possible for the side of C8 United over at generators, but we can see ALMGHTY now dropping on in from the back. He wants to be able to pull that backstab together with Ron as well as he brings the Sparrow in. ALMGHTY can activate it as well, but it will be the team of Rampage that runs away with this initial points. Ron finally breaks the hill, but he has to hold on. Good that one from Asmal as he thumbs him out to pull the side for himself. But C8, they are back in there with the numbers.
The numbers are coming through, and we did see a lot of operators being burned out there, but it did work out in favor of Rampage and C8 after that strong start. This is the one I was talking about, AJ. If you're gonna rotate early, you could have gotten this time at least, but Rampage, they actually broke it through, and now everything is going really well for them. Nachi on your P3 power position, pushing through 3 more seconds. Rampage, no rotation whatsoever, but C8 already on the new one. But look at this, 3 more players from Rampage pushing through. They managed to clear it out, flip the spawns, and now this might just be another 60 for them unless C8 can break it with their operators.
Yeah, C8 United just losing out on these gunfights, and the early rotations not doing them a lot of favors at all. Nachi holding on to a great power position just to hold on to that pressure, making sure nobody else comes in to say hello at that hard point. But he has to watch his back as well as the rest of his team members get dropped, and that information gets played directly to his ears. And yes, C8 United, they do have that hard point for the time being, but it's not going to be for long as Rampage once again will be able to annihilate them purely with the numbers that they have on their side. And yes, they have the hard point for a little while. Nachi breaks it as he fully streaks himself out, getting ready for the reset of that hard point.
Yeah, that reset is going to be really, really huge, but it depends on where you're going to use that cluster strike. You know, this map is really covered, AJ, and the only P1 is actually good for that cluster strike. But so far, C8 actually going to get that final 10-second scrap time. Going to be very, very huge here. Rampage 96 to 63. Contest is in. Reset is on. Nachi also has a Goliath here. That can be useful for P3. But so far, it's 98 to 63. Still not a huge lead here, but this reset is going to be very, very huge for both teams.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Cluster in here is going to be the perfect one to be brought out for the side of Rampage, just to make sure they run away with all of these points now. I mean, if they don't use it here, like you said, they can't really use it anywhere else. So it is all about the timing. I believe they have 2 cluster strikes activated on their side, but instead they invest in the XS1 Goliath, and I'm just a little curious about this decision.
I feel like if they have 2 clusters, I think they can cover 2 sides in 1 hill later. So probably that's what they're going through with this one. But Nachi just trying to rack up all the points, milk it down one by one. And so far, it's actually working, AJ. It's really working. 12 more points to go. 22 more points before this game ends. But here comes C8 on the final. This might be that final hill here on the next P2. They're setting up for the new one. And so far, they are struggling right now in this hard point.
Oh yeah, at that second hard point, you know that Cluster is going to be able to block off 2 of their entries, but a sentry setup now coming through from the players of Rampage as well, and the Malaysians finally are able to put up a great fight in here and show exactly who's boss. 140 to 68, C8 United fighting back, not wanting to let this go, but I believe it's just a little bit too far away from the grasp of their hands now, as Rampage just needs about 10 more seconds at this hill to finish things off, but it's proving to be quite the challenge. Let us not forget, even though it is a challenge, they have that double cluster play still on standby.
Yeah, the double cluster play is still on standby. 10 more seconds. There comes the first one, and they're just going to block those spawns. That's going to be very unfortunate for the side of C8 United, but they have the barge in. They set up 2 more players contesting the hill. Thumper comes through. They get those 20 seconds, but Asmal on the flank will take down one last player alive. Has to win that gunfight. Ron desperately winning these gunfights, and here comes the comeback. But so far, Nachi's still alive, but the trades are coming through. 3 more players from Rampage still alive. Asmal, 8 more points. Anyone there to contest? Ron gets a 2-piece, gets a 3-piece actually, and he's still alive, but he actually saved the game for CA. But here we go. This is the final. This might be the final hill for them. Biggest gunfights of your lives if you are CA United. If you're Rampage, one good break can end the game.
Yeah, that was a terrible cluster out of Rampage. They don't really block out anything. In fact, the players of C8 United were not touched by it at all, continuously spawning out of Visitor Center, and they were able to take over that situation very easily. And now only 1 more cluster for Rampage to make use of. They better be able to nail this to the T. They bring in the Sparrow. This would be a great timing, as a matter of fact. Bring it out at Generators and just pressure them from the back area. Just go in from the front, but they will be able to break it. 3 more seconds in there, and the Malaysians have gone gotten it done on the first map. This is the first time someone has gone in there and confidently picked takeoff and show us that they can get the win as well. Good on you, Rampage. Good on you.
So great gameplay coming in from Rampage, and slow start from them, but once they hit that switch, once Nachi started getting those kills, once everyone was on point, that's where things started to change. And I like this from them. And from the side of as well, please do not do that again on stream. And from the side of C8, slow start, but when they start, actually not a slow start, it was a very good start actually, but at the same time, once the rotation started coming through, that's when they slowed things down, AJ, and that's when they started getting shut down by Nachi. One by one, they fall.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's just absolutely a good setup from the get-go. MIB doing a lot. Initially, they couldn't really break the hill, but they fought back, right? Speed along with Asmal, picking up a lot of those skills together with MIB, really keeping the pressure on the players of C8. And the one guy to really do so much of damage, we saw Ron go on a streak of his own, right? Keeping the game alive for the side of C8, but it just wasn't enough when you've got the rest of your team members, you know, bringing in a mediocre fight into a game where you need to bring your all.
Yeah, to bring it your all indeed. But it was a great game for both teams, 150 to 115. So, I mean, if this is what we're seeing on Hardpoint alone, I feel like S&D could go down to around 11. It's C8 maps pick, and I feel like with them actually just winning gunfights there, they just really have to focus on that team play in S&D. You know, watch out for those flanks that RG might do, because, you know, Speed and Nachi, I mean, actually no, even Asmal, with him just being a young blood, you know, he's just gonna be an uncontrolled frenzy, and that just might flank all over the map.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, search and destroy, this is not a very fast push that the players of C8 United can go in here for. They have to now be on defense because of exactly how Rampage has shown them. Mechanically, they are able to overcome some of these situations, right? So on the attack, as C8 United goes in towards that bomb sites, if they go in a little too aggressively, they might just end up regretting some of their decisions. And you know, it is a really good showing from the side of Rampage from the get-go here, Jericho.
Yeah, from the get-go indeed. You know, just showing that kind of aggression, showing that kind of confidence. They are really rolling on to they are really on a rampage, quite literally right now on that hard point. But in S&D, I think this is where things slow down. You know, we all know S&D wins you championships, and I feel like C8 United, they just have to focus on this one. They'll let go of that game one. They kind of let go of that from their hands, but then again, that map was chosen by Rampage and they had it on lockdown.
Yeah, and I hope I did not see what I thought I saw, because
I saw it.
I
will say it straight to your face. On the update on the VVV versus M9, guys, VVV, they won 3-2. They were down 0-2, and they did the reverse sweep against M9.
And it is a good play by Triple V. Unfortunate that we could not catch that that broadcast, but it's okay. We will have so many more opportunities in this double round robin of group stages that we have. Within 4 groups, this is just stacked. This is the biggest group stage that we have casted for in you know, a stage like this. The esports stage of Call of Duty Mobile for 2022. Not only are they taking it up to a whole new level, they're just cracking it.
Yeah, they are cracking it indeed. But you know, so far, here we go. Fast plays coming through in S&D. 3 versus 3 immediately. AJ Bomb is down at Garage. Still, can anyone make a play? Nachi takes down Ron. That's gonna be a 2 versus 3. But Zarif at the back as well. He can actually take out a play here. Toy. He will get spotted, and he gets taken out by that pistol. IXify gets home with a katana, 1 versus 2. Very winnable if you're IXify. You got a lot of time. You can actually rotate all the way to the other side of the map, and from there, you try to get a pick.
Let's see exactly how he plays this grenade in hand already, just so that he can run a little bit faster. Has the CBR. Doesn't have the range, but he has the capability of the DPS to get that win in a gunfight. And now, the back being held on by Zarif. IXify. Is he going to open up with this grenade first? Zarif with the timing might be caught out, but it is IXify instead that mistimes that approach, and Rampage picks up the first round.
Yeah, Rampage good round, and that's the sniper that we need. If Zarif can hit those shots with that sniper, I think it could really change the game here. And you know, if you are C8, what kind of adjustments are you going to make at this round number 2? They are going for another delay rush here. The double peek coming through from Garage, and here we go. Nachi, he's gonna get tagged up by a lot of players, and I like this aggression from them. Just super aggressive. Asma takes down one, but Riz takes two down as well. 4 versus 3, and now they have the bomb going down, AJ, and that's a good adjustment from them.
Yeah, it's still a solid one. IXY.
There you go.
Snipe MIB shut down. It's a 4v2 now. On for the setup. They are coming in here with the pincer, but they don't have the numbers on them. Speed as well as Zarif with the snipe. Will be spotted out. Gets sprayed down, but a quick scope coming through. A good response to shut down Riz. And now from across, tries to spot out a player at gallery, but finds absolutely nobody home. Zarif now has got the secondary, which is the CBR. Switches it out for the J358 and will be able to get the quick scope. Shoots his butt. Gets the hit mark, no takedown. Oh my lord, that's unfortunate. And he gets sliced out with a katana. IXY manages to keep C8 United alive.
IXY making huge plays for them. And so far, the adjustments are coming through. I like the mid-round adjustments by the side of C8. And Rampage, let's see what kind of adjustments are they going to make. So it's just, S&D is a game of adjustments. Whoever can adjust to who can pretty much seal the deal for each round. Here comes the sniper. Zadif through the smoke, takes one down. Beautiful snipe. That's going to be the first blood for them. That's going to stop the rush for a C8, but look at that kitchen rush, AJ. Ron, he's going to get spotted, but is he going to win this gunfight? Speed, it's going to be 2 plays. He does take down one. IXY decides to katana 2 people, and that just worked out for them. Zarif takes out Toy, but IXY with a quick scope, 3 kills to his name there. 2v1 Asmal, stuck in a 1 versus 2. He's gonna spot one, but IXY 4 kills in that round with a double katana, AJ.
Yeah, Rampage needs to be able to make a stronger comeback in here. They are the defending side. It's just that the rotations are on point. The engagements are a little soft, but it's nothing that they cannot make up for in this next round. They reposition themselves. They will be able to set up a retake situation for basketball court, and that will give them that early rotation in towards that B bomb side. And look at them, the 2 players from the side of Rampage stacking that bomb site, and that was a poor decision by Nochi and Asmal. Zarif will be able to punish Riz, tries to find yet another in his scope, will not be able to detect one at gallery, but just behind the car. Will MIB be able to spray one down? It is a 4v3, the numbers still on the side of C8 United. Thumper won't be able to find Toy, and it will be Zarif who has the best of opportunities now to get this quick scope, and he shuts down Fluffy. Ronin taken out by MIB. It's a 2v1, and IXY just needs to find a clutch in himself. 21 seconds, the bomb on the ground. Will he be able to get this together with Toy?
Yeah, I like this from the side of C8. They're just really playing time here. There's just one player challenging Toy, takes one down. He spots the other player, doesn't have to peek anymore. And here we go, C8 United getting that round 3-1. They are slowly answering back here. And Rampage struggling in this S&D at the moment. But so far, still a very close game. IXY though, AJ, 9-1.
If they can continuously prove that, the respawns are just their thing, we will be able to see them finish this off at game number 4, worst case scenario. But Rampage, they just need to show that they can sustain themselves in the search and destroy. Just be able to prove that they can take on some of the strategies that C8 United is throwing at them. Because quite honestly, they're not throwing anything. They're just on the defense. And it's all for the players of C8 United now to come in here for the attack. But they are going in with a very slow approach, just second-guessing their approach from the side of Art. And IXY not able to hit the first one, sends the grenade out for the pop. Will he get the check? No hit mark. No info.
Yeah, no info indeed, but I think IXY saw that person around B. There's only going to be 2 players watching over it. They could just barge in here, play for trades here. But look at the setup of Rampage. They actually over-rotated that early. And if you're CA, you can actually play back first, but they decide to commit to it, and that's going to cost them. Speed gets 2. IXY gets 1. Still on a Rampage for himself. But Asmal going to be very near. IXY finally goes down. It's all up to Ron in the 1 versus 4. Can he make the play? He's going to spot one, takes him out, takes out the second one as well. No, he does not. MIB puts the skates on him, and that's going to be 3-2, switch of sides. Now we are going to see Rampage on offense.
Yeah, a little slow on the response with the CBR, but he will not allow that to get to him, I'm sure. As C8 United, they need to prepare for the next round. They are in front in terms of the score, but it's not long before Rampage catches up with them with the adjustments that they are making on in here. And after taking that hard point already, you know Rampage has got that momentum on their side. MIB with a setup. Nochi shuts down Fluffy, and from the back, IXify trying to spot a player out. I mean, triggered discipline, yes, but Nochi is just holding on to his corner very smartly. Is he going to be able to get a check with that stun? It will be finding absolutely no one, but Ron punishes Asmal from the back. 4v3, the numbers on the side of C8.
Numbers on the side, indeed, and they know where they are. Toy trying to hit those wall bangs. Ron finishes up. Nachi gets the trade on Ron. 2 versus 3 here. And if you are on the side of Rampage, just trying to pick up the bomb and just roll the Emilia as you can. But Zarif stuck in the middle here. He's trying to get a pick with that sniper. But Zarif gets taken up by IXify. 11 kills for IXify. He is on fire right now. 4-2. 2 more for the end of game number 2. But so far, C8, they're doing pretty well in S&D.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And now 2 more rounds to wrap things up. C8 United on the defense. They will break away into a 2-1 split, just sending one player into basketball court. It seems to be the right decision. Fluffy shuts down Zarif over at Central Garden. They find yet another. Ron tries to win his fight. He will not be able to overcome Speed. It is a 4v4. Fluffy with the backstab. Needs to back away because it's a wrong position to hold, and Fluffy will pay for that as Speed bags him as well. 4v3 now on the side to the Malaysians.
Yeah, 4 versus 2 now, 3 versus 2. And it's still winnable if you're on the side of C8. They have that other side. They killed that last player. It's up to Toy in a 1 versus 3. Has a Holger. One clip can kill 3 people here, but the setup is through. Rampage Gaming already bombed down. What happened to Toy? He's gonna spot one. He's gonna get tagged up by every single one there, and they know where he is now. I think Nachi might just tag him up again. 3v1, 25 seconds left. This should be a round for Rampage.
Oh, double challenge. Speed manages to get it with the CBR. And Rampage on the way back in here unless C8 United can get something done. On the defense, they did play it quite smartly, throwing in 2 players in towards that B-bomb side and 2 towards mid. But unfortunately, it's just the mechanical supremacy of Rampage and a little bit of a carelessness from Speed that kind of gave it all. Sorry, not Speed. It was the carelessness of Fluffy, my apologies, that kind of gave that win towards Rampage. Zarif now trying to spot out mid. Wallbang's not going to come anything. Not going to bring anything for him just yet. And the bomb moves on towards the basketball court instead. And that's a great decision to make.
Just following the leader there. And here we go. Nachi leading the charge over at A, and I feel like C8 United, they have their setup. I like their setup, you know, mid will be controlled, but they did not notice the rotation. Toy will get a lot of information here. He does spot 2 players, and that's going to be a trap. This might be a trap by C8 United. I like that if Rampage doesn't go inside sight, and one of the players of one of the players of C8 actually flank, this might be a great round for them. But so far, still a stalemate. No one being taken out yet. Just getting tagged up, AJ. But here we go.
Yeah, boy, just playing a lot of pressure. And now, one player, MIB, already with a backstab as he enters into money. Kitchen, nobody's guarding it just yet. IXify hears the footsteps, repositions himself, goes in for the quick scope, finds nothing. Katana will not be able to slice this time around, and C8 United now have to deal with Rampage nipping at their heels as they equalize 4-4. Riz with the attempt to clutch this. Is he going to be able to hit anything with the Type 25? Manages to tag up one. Asmal shut down as well. It's a 4v1 on the setup, but Nochi makes it too quick as Rampage catches up.
Yeah, I feel like Rampage, I mean C8, they over-rotated to help A yet. You know, they haven't gone in yet. And then once Zarif got that first blood, they all scrambled to try to get the trade. And in the end, Rampage, they just got in the site and they took down Toy, but there's a flying thumper in mid-air, and here comes Rampage again on the offense. Trying to find a player here. MIB gonna be the first one in. Has the bomb as well. Here comes the push, and Toy, he's just gonna get taken out. One more player inside the site. Can he stay alive? But Speed gets the trade, and IXify actually missed that shot and gets melted away. And that's gonna be at 4 versus 1. AJ, it's all up to Riz again, and he's gonna get taken out. Match point for Rampage.
Oh, nice one as Rampage moves forward. What a catch-up, and now leaving C8 United in the dust. Are we going to be able to see the Filipinos push this into round 11, or the Malaysians get this clutch and finally put a settle to that score? Because MYSG, they've been struggling against the Philippines so far.
They have been struggling so far, AJ, and this is just showing up again. If our Rampage can get this 2-0, they are proving that they are still that top team that we know from before. Top Malaysian team, not Chi, finally gets taken out by Ron, 4 versus 5. That's a good pick by the side of C8. That might just stop the push.
I like the player cam right now because the guy is just sitting down facing the other way of his chair. I've never seen anyone sit down like that and play a game before. But I guess it's giving him the boost in speed or something.
But yeah, 4 versus 3, AJ. MIB and Speed got 2 players. MIB again with a beautiful thumper. 4 versus 2. Last 2 players alive. One guy's flanking, actually. That's going to be Riz again. He's going to get 1. Speed takes out Fluffy. Last player alive is Riz. He's going to tag up. 2-0 Rampage on the way to that 3-0. 6-4, AJ. Things are not looking good for C8.
Yeah, it's not looking good for my prediction here as well, but good on Rampage, right? To be able to pull one back for the Malaysian side. Asmal just switches up some of the hand signs that he holds up this time round. Good on him as well. As Rampage, they will continue looking for more victories. Can they hit a 3-0 on the already suffering part of C8 United?
Yeah, C8 United just really struggling from start to finish, and Rampage, they managed to lose a couple of rounds, but once Zarif hits those snipes and once the other players started getting those adjustments that they need, they got that win for them. Speed with 13 and IXFI 11 kills to his name, but once that second half came through, the final rounds he just couldn't kill anyone.
Oh yeah. And it's just a little unfortunate because it just seems like the team was depending a little bit too much on IXFI, and he wasn't able to deliver. Toy in those situations as well. He was able to get a couple of great kills for what could have been clutch moments, but just no sustainability out there on the battlefield. Fluffy with a couple of extra mistakes that was not anticipated, and through all of that in combination, Rampage just found it way too easy to make a comeback and leave C8 United in the dust. What a play coming through from the Malaysians. And now we move on into Standoff, where we might end it with a 3-0 once again, this time on the side of Rampage.
Yeah, 3-0. It is definitely possible. This is Rampage's pick for map number 3. Standoff Domination. We've seen what can happen in a standoff if you do not control any of those houses. You could just end up just like GaijiN, AJ, just losing all of the controls, and it ends up you scrambling and pushing the back on your own. One by one, you fall. And especially with the sentry gun here, it's going to be very, 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 very efficient. Let's see which of these players can get streaks and actually help the team win.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And it will all be in the hands of C8 United to keep themselves alive. Oh, at Standoff, we know exactly how things work. You want to be able to hold on to grannies. You want to be able to grab those important points, because at Standoff, if you can make a play for that A and B flag very early on, holding on to it gets a little bit more convenient as well, right? And yes, you can just have that balance of that B and C flag, but it's just a little bit more complicated when, those players want to wrap around from that second floor of Bakery to keep the control onto that Bravo side. The Granny's house just provides you a little bit more of this defensive maneuvers where you can just back away and be in your safe spot, wait for a little bit of backup from the rest of your team members. So it's all about exactly who plays the better side of this map a little bit better, Jericho.
Yeah, but a little bit better indeed. And I mean, C8, they're always good at the start. But when it comes to that crunch time, AJ, that's when that clutch gene from Rampage just kicks in. And that's the experience that Rampage has. And I feel like if C8 wants to really win this one, they got to start strong and actually just put in that lead to the Rampage. They can just really struggle in the end.
Speed with the CBR, trying to cover off Statue and Tank Frizz, and he does that to the D. will be able to get on in there. Oh, my goodness, gets shut down by Sage instead. And that's a good advantage for the side of your C8 United. Notchi stepping on in with the KRM. No hit mark, but manages to shut down IXify with a second hit in and will be able to play the prevention for that B flag, allowing Speed now an opportunity to step on forth with him as well. Take the backstep on the rest of these players. But look at that distraction being played by these players over at the home flag of Rampage as well.
Yeah, home flag indeed, and Sage, he's going to be able to get that flag, and just like that, C8, but Riz trying to make a play with an FHJ, does not hit anyone, but the B flag about to be captured, unless Notchi stops it. He does stop one player, but the trip cap is on for at least a second, and here comes Asmal on his own, trying to cap B. Let's see if his teammates can actually help him. 2 players from L gonna push through, and just like that, I like this from C8, starting off really strong. Now let's see if they can keep it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Now they clear off the markers as well. Ron, are they going to be able to push this into game number 4? It is all left in the balance as Asmal tries to take out the trophy system, manages to get that to the T, and another player pops out in front of him, but the CBR just a little bit too quick. He gets shut down. Ron with a backstab on the defense just to protect the B flag. The streaks are not activated just yet for Rampage to take advantage of. They still need to fight this, and nobody's going in for the backstab. Nobody's actually making their beeline for that C flag on the distraction play.
Yeah, no one's really making that, and you see the mistakes of Rampage. They're just pushing in one by one on the flag. Asma just keeps on hopping on it, not even waiting for his teammates. But you gotta slay first before you hop on that flag. But now Rampage again hopping on it. They are gonna get B, but they're gonna lose that home flag. And let's see where they're gonna go. Are they gonna go A or B here? C is pretty clear here. Gas station spawns for them, but they have to defend B as well. So double duty for all the players here in Rampage.
B flag on the prevention, Fluffy. Asmal getting cheeky, but Sage will be able to prevent that. Shut down by Notchi. And here comes Zari for the backup as well, right? It is a good play coming through from the side of Rampage. Almost taking out the C flag, but prevention now comes through. They will not be able to take that backup. Drops by MIB. Zari, if he gets that completed as well, they hold on to this matchup. But C8 United raging on 61 points already, and they are not allowing the side of Rampage to hold on to 2 flags for more than 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, they are not allowing them to actually just hold the flags. They're just really struggling right now. And if you are Rampage, you got to find something here, dig deep. But C8 United, they are playing very, very well from start to finish. Let's see if they can close it out this time. But 75 to 36, that is a pretty good lead if you are C8 Gaming, C8 United. And let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, and now as we switch things up a little bit, let's see if Rampage will be able to make a stronger comeback.
Yes, let's see if they can make the comeback indeed. Here we go. Rampage Gaming, can they make the comeback? But the first blood goes to the side of Save. Asmal gets 2 in a row. And they still haven't slayed out the side of a tank side. But finally, they are getting some kills here. But so far, the problem with RG, they just keep on hopping on the flag without even killing the players. Notchi gonna use that Sparrow. Not even get anyone down. That's just a useless usage of scores of operators.
Yeah, and a quick update from what's happening behind the scenes. ALMGHTY managed to take down Tyrant Finesse 3-0. That's a perfect donut yet again. And, you know, if at all Rampage manages to make it back in here and beat C8 United, that'll be an all-out donut day.
Yeah,
wait, Triple V. Oh, yeah, Triple V, they managed back 3-2. Sorry, I missed the Triple V match.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's still going to be great. You know, our 4 main stage match is going to be a 3-0, but so far, things are not looking really, really bright for them. MIB as well, Notchi being that distraction, trying to capture A. So far, nothing is happening for Rampage. They keep on pushing through the middle. Stop hitting the mid, you know, just work on picking them off one by one in the back. But here comes C. And look at the way they're just playing. They're just playing very, very campy and helping each other. And this is the CA we've been waiting for, AJ. We haven't seen this in the first and the second game.
Oh yeah, we absolutely did not see the side of them earlier on, but then they rage on in this domination matchup. Will MIB be able to play? Shoots one straight towards Granny's house on that roof, but will find absolutely no one. But ambitious indeed from the side of Rampage. We see the ideation coming out from them, and they just want to pressure all of these players, making sure they don't step on forth, do that B flag, but finally someone steps onto that objective, but Rod shuts them both down, gets a triple for himself, and Rampage, on the other hand, they've just been focusing on all of those domination points, those flags, 2 of it in their hands now.
Yeah, finally, they did it, and MIB with that Predator missile stops the cap on A. They can still hop on B, but there is going to be a sentry gun. This is going to be the situation. Are we going to go for B? Are we going to defend A? And Zarif, he's going to be the first one to try to defend it. Can he try to get a double kill? He spots one. Is he going to take him out? Yes, he takes him out. 2 more players behind him. But there's going to be a player on the top roof, but he gets taken out as well, and that might be another cap for Rampage. And the comeback, AJ, slowly but surely, it's getting there. But Asmal, he has to make the case here. He's going to be 2 more players at the back. Asmal spots one. Is he going to take him out as well? 103 to 77. B is being captured as well. Big plays by Rampage. C8 asking for answers here. They are struggling right now, and this is the C8 that we saw in the game 1 and 2, AJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And Rampage, what a play. Triple cap to make a comeback in this matchup. What a play, Malaysia. This is just insane. I did not expect this out of Rampage on this stage. C8 United now being outshined. Yes, they did quite a good job getting up to that 100-point mark. But in the second half, it's just been one name being read out again and again and again. And that is Rampage. They are going to be able to equalize in a couple of seconds now, hitting that 100-point mark already with C8 United on no flags at all. Ron can bring out the Sparrow, but he does not waste his time just yet. Thumper through the windows is not going to get taken out. The prevention for that B flag takeover is not there. C8 United's managed to pull both back for themselves, and now 110 to 107.
Oh, no.
C8 United with the opportunity for a triple cap.
But Zarif gets that triple kill. B is still going to be captured now. But look at that Sparrow on C. Is he going to make the play? Ron gets one. He takes himself out. The trophy system making another play. The double cap might just come through. Here we go. 114 to 115. They lose C. Anybody's game right now, AJ. But so far, B is being captured, and just huge plays from everyone. MIB loses that fight with a Sparrow. Sage is trying to make a play here on his own as well. The Sparrow making its way there. And now here comes Asma with the Predator missile. Gets one as well. Has a sentry gun to use. Finally uses it as well. Double sentry setup. 125 to 121. C8 United. Are they going to choke this?
Yeah, I think they might be able to choke this because Rampage is just doing everything in their power to fight this. They want to get that 3-0. They don't want to go down. They want to answer back and say that, yes, they are the Malaysian brand to step it up and show that they can take that flag and wave it up high and proud. And no Filipino will be able to take this back. And the prevention comes through. Riz is there. Here comes ALMGHTY as well. One player on. He manages to take that B flag back, but they need a triple cap, and they need the triple cap now.
There's no time. 10 more seconds ago. This is it. That's GG. Good game, well played. Rampage Gaming. The comeback has happened, AJ. And that's gonna be it. 3-0. Rampage Gaming makes the comeback.
Oh, 145 to 138. The time runs out. Such a rare occurrence in a competition of this stage to see 2 teams battle it out all the way down to the timer end out. And victory for Rampage. They take a 3-0 victory over the players of C8 United. What a crazy day of 3-0's live broadcast we've been able to witness here today.
Yeah, it was just really, really crazy on what they did. I mean, 3-0, and then with fashion, they ended it with fashion. AJ, they made a comeback. That was a really, really great comeback. You know, as with 33, just doing a lot. And for the side of C8, I mean, the Riz, Ron, and Sage, 29. All of them were just dropping numbers. But look at Fluffy, 18. And then look at ALMGHTY, just dropped down to 13. Not really doing much for the team. Just really unfortunate. But it is what it is. You know, they just struggled. They just snowballed. They started losing all their gunfights. And that was the problem. They would always start really strong. But towards the end, that's when they started, you know, just having problems on what to do.
Yeah, it's just a little unfortunate with the way, you know, things were in that second half for the side of C8 United. But if you look at Rampage, you know, you got to respect the hustle. You got to respect the amount of commitment they threw into that second half to make a solid comeback and then to win this game as well in such spectacular fashion, right? 3-0. What a stellar victory from them. I have never seen Rampage this good before. And I feel like they have just hit a brand new level, a whole new level that we can now start to expect so much more out of the brand.
Yeah, I feel like that this is just the beginning from them. You know, they lost that first series. Now they're going to be 1-1 on the round robin, and this might just be a good thing for them. But at the same time, C8 United, they are struggling. They have to fix on how they should play on end games, because if not, they're just going to get toppled over by all these other teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, C8 United, they just need to focus a little bit more on how they play some of these spots as well. Or could it just be down to those mechanical gameplays of these players where they just need to sharpen up? Because, you know, when it came to the rotations, when it came to all of the strategies at Standoff, it just seemed like they had it down. It just seemed like they had everything figured out until Rampage stepped up their gameplay.
Yeah, until Rampage stepped up in their gameplay. It was just an all-out war for CA. They were dominating from start to finish. They had all their streaks. They had their operators ready. They had their rotations on lockdown. But that one play from Rampage that really changed it for me was when everyone was just winning their gunfights. You know, it wasn't any particular play, but once they started winning those gunfights, it just snowballed. The streaks were ready. The operators were on point, and they just had the triple cap.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, when we take a quick flashback, a recap look here at the hardpoint matchup at takeoff, this was just perfection out of the Malaysians, right? You know, the rotations were on point. They were not too early, forcing the players of C8 United to go in for some early rotations and then punishing them later on as well, with all purely with those mechanical gameplays. Notchi just holding on to the best of positions. No one had anything on them in this first, you know, part of this hard point, and towards the second half as well of this hard point, it was just a one-sided game all the way through Rampage, because no matter how many times C8 tried to set up a hill for themselves, they just could not hold it down.
Yeah, they just could not hold it down, indeed. And they were just asking for answers here pretty much towards this P4. That's when Notchi got those full streaks, and they were pretty much set up to win the end already. I mean, here in the end, Ron trying his best to do everything that he can, getting so many kills, but it was just a little bit too late. You know, 10 more points for Rampage before they win this first game.
Oh, yeah, man. 140-91. Even at this point, the players of C8 United, they weren't giving up. And we did see such a stellar fight being put up. And it just wasn't enough down to that final moment, right? Because even though they did not want to let it go, Ron put up a stellar display over at that second hard point. It had to come into a roller launch. They stayed alive there and, you know, just shut down later on. But at the search and destroy, C8 United thought they were able to make a comeback with some of the confidence that they showed early on. It was stellar, but slowly that really got chopped down by Rampage's literal rampage in this S&D.
Yeah, I mean, the literal rampage could be an understatement, because they struggled in some rounds where C8 actually had some great plays, but Rampage, they just had the better gun skill, the mechanical gameplay, as you would say, AJ. I mean, besides this round, ALMGHTY, 4 rounds in a row, 4 kills in this round, just huge plays by him. But once he got shut down in that next half, that's when Rampage just took over and pretty much won all these rounds by themselves.
Yeah, ALMGHTY was basically the guy that was doing the most for C8 United in there. And you can't have that. I mean, you can have that when your team is winning. It's just one guy going in for the highlight reel. But this one is just turning out to be a one guy carry for the whole squad, which was not going to be able to cut it against a squad like Rampage, who was more than prepared for this encounter.
Yeah, more than prepared indeed. They had their rotations ready. And then now we move on to Domination, wherein we thought we were going to see a game number 4, AJ, but some things just melted down. It was a complete meltdown, AJ. You know, I mean, look at the score at the first half, AJ. 65 to 32. You're setting up yourself for winning this match already, but C8 just had one mistake that really costed them, which was going to be shown in that second half.
Oh, yeah. And it's just unfortunate for C8 because even in that second half when we started things off, they were playing dominance first, but they were able to capture that one flag, not able to go in for that B flag at all. But once they started getting frustrated, that's when we started seeing some of these mistakes happen more and more often, Jericho.
Yeah, it's just we just keep on seeing it. Like here, Ron getting a triple kill, that's very good. But here, once we saw that triple cap, they were scrambling for something to happen. And yes, they were pushing together, but the operator, the angles of all the players of RG, they knew where they were gonna peak out. And by the time that they pulled out their operators, they're getting triple killed by Zarif. And that was pretty much it. That was a GG. And here is our MVP, our soldier of the game. It's going to be RG Asma with 22 kills, 16 deaths, and a KD ratio of 1.35.
Yeah, good stuff out of Asmal today as Rampage grabs one of their most convincing victory of a major stage that they have shown in a long time. And hopefully this will be the trend for the squad as the group that they sit on in is not the easiest one of them all.
Yeah, not an easy one at all. It was a hard-fought 3-0 for them because all the games were really close, still down the wire. But can this be the momentum boost for Rampage Gaming to make them secure that top 2, or will they just falter in their next series?
Yeah, we have to see, of course, when we catch them on day number 3 in here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the Call of Duty Mobile Arena Masters. But, you know, it is something that we have to wait a couple of days for because the next one will be kicking off on the 16th of February. But this is the recap of day 2 schedule. It has just been a day of donuts for the on-broadcast series. Blacklist International.Ultimate starting things off, serving the first one against Nervo. And then later on, it was C8 Legacy as they handed one over to the Doctor. M420 Lowkings, they were able to bag GaijiN out in the most spectacular of fashions. And in this exact same way, it was a solid showing by Rampage when they took on C8 United, Jericho.
Yeah, C8 United indeed. And for our Offstream match, VVV Esports taking down Sem9 3-2. That's actually a mistake by production. VVV actually won that game number 5. And for our second Offstream match, ALMGHTY taking it 3-0 to Tyrant Finesse. So a day full of 3-0s, AJ, except for one match that we didn't even get to see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a lot of these series in store for you guys in the group stages itself. Double round robin. That's exactly what we promise you. The whole month will just be about Call of Duty Mobile Arena Masters, and that's exactly what you can look forward to because even from today, right, it's such unexpected turnouts from these series.
A lot of just sudden impact movements. Just, I mean, the 3-0s were just really crazy. I mean, like, we expected the first series to be 3-0, but we didn't expect 2, 3, and 4 to be that dominant of a game. But, you know, except for the match 4 with Rampage, all games were really close. But it had to be a 3-0. They just wanted to be 3-0. But, I mean, other than that, this was a crazy day number. It's only day number 2, AJ.
Oh, yeah, exactly, man. I mean, even in day number 2, we are having our minds blown, but so much more of those adjustments can be brought through in this double round robin setup for the group stages. Teams that have gotten taken down will have an opportunity at a comeback, will have an opportunity at revenge. Who will be the ones to take it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? That's what we want to see. When we spot out Group A, the reason why we said Rampage is not in the easiest group of them all is because they sit in there together with ALMGHTY, and they have proven against C8 United that they can get this win. So even if they end things up on a tie, they will be able to qualify through. But of course, that needs to be proven twice in a row. Rampage sitting down in the 3rd spot as C8 United still holds on to that 2nd place. Group B sees M420 Lowkings rise up to the top with Sem9 just behind them.
Yeah, Sem9 just right behind them. So those two titans of a team, they're really fighting because you know, GaijiN's really struggling. If they lose one more match, they're technically not really out, but they have low chances of actually getting through that top 2. And now, actually, Lowkings leading that group the Group B, AJ. And for Group C, Smart Omega and Aguila tied for that 1st place. Huntsman and Fury, they need to find that 1st victory. For Group D, which we had today, AJ, Blacklist and C8 taking it home 1-1. Nervo and the Doctor, can they manage to make the comeback?
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to spot next time around. Smart Omega, Agila Esports, Huntsman, as well as Team Fury were not in action today, but we will be able to spot them in day number 3. As Agila Esports opens up day number 3, February 16th, going up against the Huntsman. C8 Legacy will be taking on Nervo. Rampage will be meeting Tyrant Finesse in the 3rd series. And Almighty meets up against C8 United in the 4th match.
And for our off-stream matches, we have Smart Omega versus Team Fury. And for our second off-stream match, it's going to be Blacklist International.Ultimate versus the Doctor.
Oh, this is just a setup of a match day in day 3, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. So you guys can expect a lot out in here. Make sure you mark your calendars, 8 p.m. exact same time. We're going to be skipping tomorrow, and we'll be right back in Wednesday.
Yes, and that's going to be it for our day number 2. And a crazy, crazy day, AJ, full of donuts, except for one series. But, I enjoyed this day, just a lot of seeing new teams again, seeing the return of the Doctor. And also Rampage making a great comeback in that game number 3. But I think that's it, AJ.
There is a lot of teams just proving their worth out here, but it has just been day number 2 of the group stages. Like Jericho has said, a lot more for us to anticipate in this competition. Make sure you guys catch day number 3 at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Till then, Jericho and the Mustachio signing off. You guys take care, good night, and goodbye.
Peace out. Production.